a little bad, and it is going to be the Rakan here for Labrov. Obviously, the Rakan does allow you to follow up very nicely, I think, particularly when it comes to like Caps' ultimate, when it comes to Skewmond using Gen.G. I think looking for the contest. Wave in mid is crashing. Chovy's on his way.
Canyon, can he find a way into the pit? Labrov locked up for a moment. Maokai ulti over the wall. Eyes on the dragon. Who's going to be able to get it? Caps. Beautiful start to the fight. Knock up coming through as well. Ruler's trying to back off, but they're getting lower and lower. Calling over the wall, but Ruler's in no man's land. And finally, Keen has come through, but the tower finishes the job. The kill goes to Labrov. This is the power of the pick, especially as we get closer to that level 11 mark. More items under his belt. It's the poke. So does Herald secured. Control of can come back to bite you, but it's definitely an option for G2.
Gen.G this time set up first in the river. If it isn't for Caps getting one of the big engages, is it actually kind of hard for them to also get on top of Gen.G? The disengage is really good with that Braum, though is already a little bit low. Is Keen. TP's in. Possibility for a soul point here for G2.
Set up off to the side. G2 second on the objective, but here comes the Maokai ultimate. Ruler sidestepping. Crucially, Caps looking for the knockup, but already going in is Keen on the side, and he's going to get cut down. Knock to the backside is Labrov. Bomb onto Chovy. The Azir gone. Damage deleted. G2 find another fight by the Drake.
And Gen.G get caught sleeping. Keen goes way too deep. Gets on top of Chovy, charms him, and sets him up for a great ultimate from Caps. Really big deal.
Quick play on the side lane. Caps snaps through. We'll be able to pull back, flash away. Q3 still living for a moment, but Chovy gets the job done. Shut down for Gen.G.
Definitely necessary there for Gen.G. Caps and kind of running the game so far. Kill going over to the Azir. That also is going to be the bot lane secure. There's still a Herald as well for Gen.G. That was back-to-back. A large part of many of the plays thus far is mid lane, now being sieged here by Gen.G.
Sama stepping up, laying down the hail of arrows. His Broken Blade lays a bit of damage down, but tanks 2 tower shots. Definitely not ideal. Keen keeping the fight going. Broken Blade can't afford to stick around. That AoE damage is going to hurt, but Skewmond coming in the blink of an eye, offers an exit and a quick death for Keen.
And Keen, he sees a tasty food for the crocodile, and guess what? It was bait all along. Broken Blade finds his teammate Skewmond arriving in a perfect moment of time, and notably, if Keen doesn't go for that and just stays near his turret, it's a win for Gen.G. They get the mid lane.
G2 have made the call, it seems, to give this one up. But
There's
no,
the TP.
The TP in from Jax. Caps recalling, buying an item. That's the ulti going in from the Maokai. They want to split it. They want to 50-50 it. Skewmond against Canyon. Who can get it?
He got it!
It's Canyon in the clutch. Finding a way, but the ball from Caps is there. Down goes Keen. No, lives for an extra moment. The snapback will get it done. Q, knock up onto 2. Duro on the way out. Chovy with the pushback to hold the line. But Skewmond goes in one more time. They get the objective. They get what they came for, but they paid much more than they wanted to.
And Otacon turns your teams into paperbacks as Ruler just goes in, flashes out. Nothing he can do.
There, waiting it out. Won't quite fade away in time. Caps a few more seconds. Hansama flash forward, wants to finish the job under Ruler. One more item will do it. The hail of arrows. 10-2. G2 with the gold lead in game 1. Labrov looking for the knockup. Duro next. It's an ace. It's a soul. Potentially the start of something new. I won't pretend that the early game stats were pretty, but holding on, finding a way to scale into this game is a big deal for G2's hopes here. Knockback is big though. Labrov caught out, not respecting the Mega Blast Cone. Shut down for Duro. A little supportal combat. And a big misstep right ahead of Baron.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna make the call. Gonna try and play here.
Instantaneous TP.
Babs
gonna lose the snapback in a second here. Might have wanted to get another cooldown. And this
they
is
have
the thing.
to.
No matter how far ahead you feel, no matter how comfortable the game seems against a team like Gen.G, it's not over until the Nexus falls.
The poke is hitting though, look at the damage!
Sama, almost 6K in the last fight. How much will we get here? If the arrows keep connecting, this is gonna be big. Duro's gonna have to use the Unbreakable in a second. Taking his time, ulti into the midst of the pit. Skewmond to follow. Caps standing behind. Chovy goes golden by a brief second, but he just sells out Ruler. The pushback is massive for Chovy. The Azir is still alive. He's free hitting, but there's just too much damage. G2 shredding through Gen.G. Quick flash out from Chovy. Sliding to safety. Objective down, but again, it is the fight.
At the beginning of this play, and even though Caps doesn't quite find the mark, Chovy finds a stopwatch. It doesn't matter, because again, Broken Blade on this, but this is where I think The threat of that Maokai comes in big. Caps looking for an angle as well, I'm sure.
G2 favored in the composition. Gen.G playing into the choke. Makes the Maokai all, the Yone all powerful. Multiple ults used, traded back, but it's a quick snap out from Caps. He still has an ulti of his own. Broken Blade in the midst of the team. Backing away. 6K. The Elder starts to reset. You don't want to take a 50-50 against Canyon.
I just pull off. Gen.G looking to teleport Keen back in. Sterik's still available. Duro is low. There's no smite on LeBron right now, so this would just be a straight up 50-50.
G2 are stone cold. Looks like they might have found the angle. Lockup is there. Immediate fall from LeBron. Chobi's not going to have a chance to respond. The CC flawless. Hans on a rampage. G2 finding the angle. The patience, the discipline around the objective, unseen in play-ins, comes roaring out on the main stage, but it's LeBron again, over-eager. The Elder still critical, untaken, for now uncontested.
Oh, Canyon on vision. Obviously going to try and look for the steal. I don't think he should be allowed to approach this. Broken Blade, standing guard.
But it's a 2. Broken Blade has to retreat. Hans getting some poke down. Canyon with the flash. 5K. Caps going for the knockup. Everything used to deny this jungler access. But now no one's on the objective. No one's on the Drake. They're taking their time. Keen slowly burnt down.
That's going to be
Dragon
it.
Set to fall as well. Keen running for his life. G2. Soul. Elder. 7K.
Gen.G, they can't really do anything. They're just going to have to give up a good amount of objectives. And again, 20 seconds till that Baron is up here. And G2, unless something absolutely ballistic happens, should be looking at a game 1 lead here.
Broken Blade staying in the wave. Quick stun. Ward hop over the wall. Gen.G trying to collapse somewhere, look for an angle, but it does cost him a bit of damage on the top side tower because it's only Keen left to defend it.
45 seconds.
TP coming in, matched immediately by Caps. That's the ulti out from Skewmon. Push back from Chovy, a solid start, but Ruler, the culling goes completely wide. Caps over the wall, looking to find a man, looking to find the knockup, but Canyon is untouched for now. G2 descending into the base, and it's all eyes on the Broken Blade, leaping forward. Ruler can't get it done. G2 in game 1. Not a single person predicting in their favor on the desk, but they managed to find a way. And the confidence on this lineup as they close this game, as they draw first blood in this best of 5.
Absolute smackdown, Dracos. Here in the first game, Gen.G, it starts off rough and only gets worse from there. The early fights for G2, Caps dropping a wave left or right, who cares? When that's the fight that you bring.
Unexpected. G2 showing up in form. Gen.G not able to match. Let's head over to the analyst desk to break down that game 1.
18-0. Who? This is G2, baby. They come out swinging in game 1. And I know, the Lulu is the Salulu sometimes. Sometimes you gotta believe in every single engage, in every single fight, and in yourself. And that's what G2 did.
I am mind blown. I genuinely didn't. I thought this was going to be a quick 3-0 day.
Yeah, well.
G2 looked awful in the play-in stage, and then in game 1, they looked crisp as hell.
A lot of people are going to be canceling dinner reservations. This is going to go a long one. It was not just Caps, it was the whole team. Skewmon's Maokai finding a great engage.
Definitely something that is very scary as the Rise comes through, so even more ability to impact side lanes. And I gotta say, I think it's kind of a smash hit from G2 again. Matchups are feeling good, but most importantly, Gen.G are not
in the early stages of this matchup on the top side than he was in the previous one. It's now Gen.G looking to re-dive. Knock up there onto Hans. Q follow, Vault Breaker in the first blood. Gen.G make it look easy. And it's a nice commitment from Canyon. Lets one wave go by. Skewmon leaves, he comes again.
Oh, that's pre-6 Wukong though. Not quite the same amount of power. Keen is a little low though.
Keen, careful to get his damage out before he overheats. The taunt, solid, good damage. Flashing to safety. Broken Blade chunked out.
Uh-oh.
Won't quite fall, but those minions doing a hell of a lot of damage. Keen.
Canyon's on his way. He still has flash.
Oh no. The flash from Broken.
The vibe's good there as the TP comes in. Canyon maybe in trouble.
Canyon LeBron just able to hit the edge on the knockup. Canyon still only level 4, flashing over the wall. Knockback onto Broken Blade. Duro using him as a taxi to try to make it out to safety. Doesn't have the Scuttle Crab in his favor though, so no extra movement speed, and he will get taken down. A nice little look from the side of G2.
And again, the fact that Skewmond also was the one that picked up the kill, I think pretty big deal. The Wukong snowballs insanely well when you can get these. Skewmond has the ultimate available. Slight gold lead, but the bot lane just can't move.
Ruler.
Yeah, they're gonna...
Chovy committed to recalling though.
Maybe look for one. Chovy does have TP.
Will TP in. G2 might just have to be happy with that as a consolation prize, but Skewmond's still sticking around, maybe hoping to find a steal. Hansama at least getting the souls. Nice engage coming in from Duro. Lock up there onto the Wukong. Chovy's ult goes in as well, and down goes Skewmond. Lebrov caught in the midst of the pit. Hansama laying down a bit more shielding, and it looks like Vi will fall. Canyon spit over the wall. Taken out of the pit, Hansama. Waiting for the flash to come through. Root is there. Curtains called on Lebrov, and down goes the Catfish. Feet of War claimed by the side of Gen.G alongside the Grubs, excuse me.
It's a flip. Oh, they're going to take a bit of a gamble here. There's a TP.
A bold call. TP, Galio on the way in. Broken Blade probably immediately going to start channeling taunt here. Locked up. Beautiful CC layering. Finds the taunt into Duro. The stun kind of missing from the side of Ruler. Doesn't connect the snare. Now the ulti from Chovy. G2 retreating. But they've effectively lost their top laner. And Canyon's just now arriving. The equalizer's still there. The curtain call there. They got 2 ultis. But not much else to show for it as the equalizer is laid down. Canyon rooted up for a moment. Lebrov taken out. Gen.G in the extended fight play so well around their cooldowns.
And G2 knowingly taking a risk there with that TP instead of trying to go for a play elsewhere on the map. In jungle, mid nade carry could be tough as Canyon looking for a play towards mid. Again, Herald is up. That's going to be what the teams are playing for.
Q flash clean from Canyon. Hansama's got nowhere to go. Duro not even needed.
You can see not really any cross map available, unfortunately. See if they can turn it maybe into a little bit of vision towards the dragon. Skewmond walking up.
Finding Duro. Lebrov making sure he can get out, but knocked backwards. Good use of the Abyssal Dive.
Play towards mid, but top wave is getting demolished, and Chovy's going to get the free turret.
And what we have to remember in this context is Caps.
Skewmond trying to get in the opponent's heads continuously as we do have the Herald being dropped.
G2 running forward. They see Chovy on the top side. They're not concerned. Excellent combo to kick things off. Equalizer follows. Caps off to the side. He's been isolated and really looking to follow. Lebrov resets the fight with the Devour. Gets a bit more space, but Gen.G have already taken the tower, and now it's Chovy chasing through. Duro looking for another combo! The Alistar finding the angle, but they're only hitting the tankiest members. Cap still stepping forward, looking for a bit more damage, but now the curtains have been called. Body block there, Lebrov getting low. Skewmond covering. G2 holding on for now, but they've lost priority. No! Ruler! Patience in the JDG logo!
OTP, DTP, look at the flank!
G2 trying to throw a Hail Mary here.
It's 2 of them.
Gen.G committed so much to the midway play. Trying to get Drake might be greedy, but G2, do they have the damage to punish? Chovy locked up. Root there, he doesn't have the ulti to escape. Skewmond now trying to get out. Keen burning everybody! The Rumble alive! Ruler's only got 2 more shots! But it might not matter. 1 more bullet to come through. The Root connecting. Ruler so damn fast. Chovy alive as well. G2 crumble!
And G2 go for the Hail Mary, the double TP. But it doesn't quite work out. Gen.G, despite using so many tools, it feels like initially maybe too many on that mid lane players. Oh, Ruler.
Missile Voyage there. Q, Auto.
Woo! 1,000 gold! And that's not something we say often.
No. I wasn't particularly hungry for Heartsteel for this team, but hey, you get it a little sooner. A lot sooner. I think that is as production is highlighting here, that is a sated Kinch coin paste gold grind as Q just barely not going to hit, but now it's Hansama who's been locked up. Hansama who's getting picked in mid lane. Duro taking his sweet time trying to find more. Chovy is there. G2 just wanted a couple creeps and it might cost them their lives. This time they're playing it safe though. Ruler. You know he's thinking about it.
Caps did many times in the game, number 1.
G2 are behind in items. They're 5,000 gold down. Keen finding himself in the midst of 3. CC there. Skewmond about to follow, tries to get out before he gets burnt to death. Devour from Lebrov. But it's Otacon in the meantime, an easy pickup for Gen.G. Happy to make the trade, one member. The power of that buff.
Jovi gonna be spotting Broken Blade. Bit of a questionable flash there from Keen, given that there's a Tom Kench standing right next to the target. Trying to burn is Canyon.
Canyon overstaying a bit here, but Ruler waiting behind. Ruler with almost 3 items ready to go. Look at the damage coming through, but Hanstama still living for an extra moment. Flash forward from Ruler. Hits his mark, finds his man. Chovy going face first in the caps is a bit difficult. The damage is there from the rise, but Ruler remains uncontested. Fourth shot. A brief moment to reload. Realm Warp in. Wukong delivered. But Broken Blade out of mana. They can't find the engage. And out comes the ulti. It's Chovy on the side. Getting shot like fish in the barrel. Duro to follow through. Ruler uncontested. Chovy dishing out so much damage. Skewmon tries to get something back. He has an extra moment, but the knockup is there from Duro and down.
Have his flash. At least he has the spell book. As Ruler taking business into his own hands in this game number 2.
And look at the difference in a game where Gen.G have equivalent tools to G2. Ways to start fights. Ways.
A right chuckle there from Ruler. This game, he is going to be a lot more happy. He's again a pick.
Again looking for the option. Onto Duro, they get the ulti. 2-man knockup. Ruler forced to back away. Lock into the Iron Solari used. Duro will fall.
Oh, you got to pull the trigger. Looks like they don't want to take the risk either.
Chovy.
Maybe trusting in the Hans.
No getting out of this one. Chovy damage coming through. Broken Blade wants to save the day. But Ruler just cannot miss in this game. Skewmon called out, knocked down, fakes the stealth, but Canyon's not falling for it. Knock up there on Ruler, maybe it can be the turning factor. It's all eyes on Caps. Caps who has to do the damage. Caps who cannot afford to be burnt down by Keen. LeBron buys him an extra moment, but Canyon's already there. Caps running for his life, but it's just not enough. Because in the midst of the fight, it is Ruler. Coming in from the Yomus. Baron now as well. On a team with the Rumble.
That might have been the difference maker. If they get him, it could be something, but instead...
Another fight. Equalizer from Keen to kick things off. Long range route coming in from Ruler. Follow up from Duro. Broken Blade locked up. Goes Golden. LeBron, 2 seconds on the ulti. Can try to save him, but if you use that ulti, you know it's easy pickings for Canyon in the next fight. Caps on the side.
Chovy's pushing.
Yeah, Chovy is pushing. It's just 4 members. Chovy denying so much gold. Set to get this tower for free. The 3 grubs they secured earlier in the game, but G2 know they need a Hail Mary. They need a desperation play. Flash forward from Caps. Root onto Ruler. Lockup coming in from Hanzama. He might be vulnerable in the backside, but all that matters is killing this AD carry. G2 find their man, but now it's Chovy in the fight. Chovy who deletes Hanzama. Canyon follow-up. Duro there as well, trying to lock down the rise. Keen gonna follow up as well. Caps, not enough room to play, but the taunt from Broken Blade is big. He's burning in the midst of it all, though. And again, it is Gen.G who will not falter. And Chovy with the quadra.
And G2 with the TP, with the Realm Warp, they do find a Ruler, but unfortunately the game has destabilized to the point where it just doesn't matter. Keen is toasting them 10 stacks dark, still same for Chovy, who does join, seeing his AD carry fall. There's just too much AoE damage available here for Gen.G as the Inips falls, and we're about to go to 1-1 here, Dracos.
That we are.
Broken Blade unfortunately still not able to really take too much of a beating because of the state of the gold. Now Gen.G 2 Inips down. Certainly just looking to end this one with as little opportunity as possible. And for G2, Caps does have Death Cap. If he can get a couple of rotations off, maybe that's something they can play towards, but everyone just goes down so quickly. These items on Gen.G just hurt too much.
That they do. Ocean Soul now as well, making it that much easier. A little bit of poke from Ruler can heal him back up from anything that G2 can throw back at him. That's Canyon waiting off to the side. Happy to trade his ultimate for Lebrovs if he needs to. Equalizer used. Gen.G immediately pull the trigger, finding multiple members. The ults are beautiful, but it's Broken Blade with a 3-man knockup. Hanzama for now uncontested. Caps burned down again. The curtain call coming in. Ruler untouched, undaunted, unfazed by a single loss. Gen.G, one final moment, taking their time. Skewmon desperately trying to make the difference with the base in tatters in front of them. Gen.G fire back in game 2 and tie the series.
And Ruler, definitely been one of the most criticized members on his team, but in this one, I don't think there's going to be a lot of ammo because that Jhin performance absolutely ludicrous. Duro as well, the Alistair, proving both as a pick away as well as a bona fide team fight tool. NG2, that dream of scaling was, I think, dashed pretty quickly. As unfortunately, for G2, 1-1, but that means we still have a possible 3 games left, Dracos.
Possibly. But
I'd like to believe.
I think they might have awoken the beast. Shocks, analysts, what do you guys think?
I think that Ruler connected definitely in that game. The man was an absolute menace. What a clinic he couldn't miss.
Yeah, and I think we're back to our originally envisioned Gen.G whooping. That's what we expected coming in, and it looked rough. Now, a fan gave me to like this here.
A fan.
flag.
Did they?
A
A
fan?
fan?
Yes, an amazing fan.
And how many times today did we watch back that flank where he just
Yeah.
comes around the Baron pit
Yeah.
and gets the 4-man kick? I mean, confidence, I think, to lock it in here. Obviously, Jarvan, all of the damage is in that EQ if he whiffs. In both Game 2 and Game 3, G2 consistently put in this position where they can't find optimal lane matchups as Qmon starts to walk forward into Ruler, but again, flag and drag is all your damage. Martial cadence, a little bit more to follow, but
Yeah, I think just trying to buy speed. With the wave that big, there's just no way as Hans.
forced to
Okay.
hit over the wall. That looks a lot different if level 6 is there for Keen as Gen.G refused to allow the mini exit. Duro, quick flash over the wall looking for the setup. Gromp there to maybe body block the Sonic Wave. Lebrov trying to get tricky. He knows if the Q hits, he's dead.
He lives!
Ticking.
Oh!
Flash!
Woo!
Lebrov!
Not even close. The Nautilus and the Lee. That 3-man unit has so much burst available as Duro looking for another play.
X-Flash. Waiting. It's the auto. Hook back, just on the edge of tower range. Hansama living for an extra second here. Ruler, full channel in the ult, but it's Canyon on the way in. Hansama, there's no way out of this one. Ulti across, trying to get something back. Canyon just kicks him into the wall. Knocks him down. First blood for the side of Gen.G.
And there, Duro again over the wall, finding a big play, sets it up, and Hans, because of that, doesn't have the ability to even thin out the wave. So Canyon can just walk in, and I've seen many. Isn't quite there.
Yeah. And as Ruler gets closer to the Bloodthirster,
He's almost mega. Qmon's there as well.
hoping to find the combo. Q3, Mininar instantly deleted. Out of turret range as well. No chance of a counter.
Commenting that, guys, I know everyone always says that Gen.G is boring, but I swear it's not. I'm not being helped by the gameplay here, Dracos. I'm not going to lie.
Maybe for the viewer, but
He gets the opportunity. He has TP, by the way, so even if you try to contest her while you're a member down, you don't really get to. And another wave goes into the turret, and that gold lead for Keen is going to keep getting bigger as Gen.G just a macro monster. But again, Duro is just always where he needs to be.
Oh, the vision is always solid. Chovy might still be in trouble here, but it's such a gamble. G2 are kind of forced to make this play because already Broken Blade is conceding on the other side of the map. They're trying to burst through Duro in the meantime. Luckily, he gets the Aftershock down, so it's taking a bit of time from the side of G2. Cataclysm goes in. Knock up there. Qmon grabs the first. No wave yet to play on. Gen.G, though, respond. They might not get the kill, but they get the tower. And now it's Chovy. Will walk away. I'm getting stone cold from Chovy. Good that G2 get the kill, but conceding the tower, definitely not ideal. And now Canyon, with the herald he grabs earlier, is set to break mid. Hansama has to be careful. Immediately tries to get out. Qmon isolated on the side. Good damage coming in from Ruler, and down he goes. Oh, Canyon! I don't know if that was a misclick or if that was intentional, because if that was intentional, that was insanely BM. Canyon either styling or misstepping, but it doesn't matter, because either way he got the kill, and he's just riding off into the night! I don't think he gets to keep his driver's license, for what it's worth, though, as a side note. And I think
Two of the members, there's still an angle. I don't know if they spotted Keen. We see some pings. I don't think they know, but now they for sure do.
Flying and Qmon a little bit awkward now. It's Hansama who's been caught out. Ulti coming through for Keen. He tries to E, but he's still caught up. Keen on the chase. CC there. He's a bit squishier now, and G2 are trying to fire back. Keen overeager, but Ruler finds them in the choke. Not as much damage as I thought it'd be. Chunks them out. Canyon ready to go. Sonic Wave hits. Keen already retreating. Still has the TP, might not have the all-up, but might not need it.
As well. Yeah, they can't fight this. There's no shot. They really needed to get the pick onto Keen there, but the rest of the team is ready.
Duro waiting over the wall just to make sure they're not risking the 50-50, although Broken Blade. Disgusting. Like that was a nasty play as Lebron's been caught out. Canyon finds another alongside Chovy, and it's Caps in the meantime. Otacon backing him up, lowering some of those resistances, but he has to get the hell out. Canyon still going, completely fearless, styling, dashes through, kick back! The mental damage, let alone the physical damage! Canyon just keeps coming. Ruler in the meantime finds the isolated target. It's a shutdown for Hansama, but Chovy responds with a great kill, and Skewmon will die in the meantime. Gen.G losing that game one must have been personal because they are obliterating G2 now.
Dracos, I want you to cast your mind back to 2019 when Canyon, back then, on Dumb One Gaming, got absolutely obliterated by G2. And I had always thought, together with Showmaker by side, I had always thought that Showmaker took that way more personal. I'm not so sure anymore.
It's just too damn tanky. Again, 23 minutes, AK gold lead. G2 praying for a mistake, hoping to find an angle that Gen.G haven't anticipated, but Gen.G just have so much control.
And the 2-item spikes, Ardon is Skewmon.
Goes in. Skewmon doesn't really have another angle, but he whoops to flag and drag out and drops down dead. And G2 no hope now. When it spawns,
if there was
but it's still a minute away because it's only 23 minutes, so they're just going to go for Otacon.
Yeah, if he got flash out of that, even if he ends up dying, I think it's worth, you know, we're looking at, you need a crazy Baron play. Maybe Skewmon can find his way into the pit, steal it away.
Shattering strike, if he does, probably to immediate engage as Hansama's been caught out on the side, shifts over the wall, but now it's Keen running down. Good ulti comes in from Ruler. Duro, unfortunately, hooking the wall means that Hansama might be able to escape with his life. Canyon ready to body block.
Oh, the TP.
Chovy isolated on side. Broken Blade, a lot of CC, should just be able to run him down. Flashing over, looks like the pick on the side lane. Shut down for G2.
Dragon, but Gen.G unrelenting. Keen, he's just going to keep on going. No one's answering him.
G2 willing to concede, hoping to find an even fight with Keen. Not in the area, TPing back to mid lane though after knocking down that tier 2. Gen.G holding on to that 7.5k gold lead.
You gotta
G2
try.
no ultis though.
You gotta try.
No ulti on the Victor, ulti on the Ezreal might do a little bit of damage, but they're already being shepherded back into the pit. Ulti goes in from Lebrov just to get a bit of space. Keen in the face of multiple members of G2 is not taking any damage. Broken Blade to the back line. No!
That's free!
3 into the wall! Fall from Skewmon into 2, but Keen again! The Cassante just generating so much space. They finally hit the combo, but it's too damn late. Gen.G more powerful. Finding the angles, Hansama running Keen. Playing greedy, playing aggressive, unafraid. It might cost him his life though. Steps back into Canyon. Canyon flash forward, one more out to get it done. Hoping to find a kick locked up into the tower, but Ruler is here to finish the job. Lebrov knocked down 2 for Ruler. And in the midst of it all, it's Chovy looking to land the death blow, pushing down in the mid lane.
Chovy shows up wondering what happened to the party. He thought he was invited. But Gen.G already cleaned up everything, as this game number 2 was an immense blowout, Dracos.
Game 2 was dominant, game 3 was a slaughter. Gen.G move on to match point.
What do you even say after a game like that? Gen.G, they took control, literally starting level 2. Canyon started invading. And from that point onward, there was absolutely no semblance of control for G2. There was always a lane that was behind on tempo, that couldn't respond, that was getting pushed in. Canyon was showing up on vision, taking away a Krug here, taking away a Grump there, threatening an all-in one way or another.
Incredible stuff. Of course, remember, if you're enjoying your experience thus far, Twitch subscribers enjoy additional benefits like custom chat, emotes, badges, ad-free viewing, and more. Riot also allocates a portion of the proceeds to the global revenue pool, which directly supports the leagues and the teams in the LoL esports ecosystem. You can subscribe now to unlock the Not Like This Way in-game emote. And Gen.G brought us quite definitively to match point. So, Shox, what's the desk got for us?
Well, we're getting a Ruler Masterclass in Game 2 and a Canyon Masterclass in Game 3. I mean, this guy's Lee Sin is legendary, and G2 felt it.
Can we get a not like this G2 emote?
As now the Mundo.
Mundo jungle to come through here.
Skewmon's played it before.
Skewmon, 4 people there.
But the thing is, the second they don't see anyone bot lane, they know that there has to be something afoot.
Oh no.
Now Broken Blade will be here, has the flash. Do they immediately go for the gank? Chains there, knock back to the wall, solid. Broken Blade getting lower and he's likely to fall now. First blood for the side of Gen.G.
We also see Keen really get the most out of that phase rush, right? We've seen so many grasp Jaces, it's easy to forget. Used to basically always go for this rune as
Duro
your cancel.
Right as the Zenith Blade comes through before the stun actually takes effect. Doing fine in these trades. The good news is Hansam has been able to stay relatively even in CS. You can see an early boots purchase, but Rob just keeps going. Aftershock there, the Leona so tanky, but not tanky enough. One more auto, and Lebrov gets the kill. Excuse me, Ruler.
Will not finish the Berserker Greaves, but these decisions from G2 in lane, this is feeling eerily reminiscent of that game number 3, Dracos.
Thus far, seems like everything has gone wrong for the side of G2. Lebrov walking into face check, level 3, gets punched into the wall. Hansama immediately flicked back. Caps is here.
Skewmon to
Lebrov
steal.
Still relatively okay. Skewmon walking in, hoping to get the steal, and he's gonna take it. But they're losing kills. They've given so much just to contest. Hansama forced to flash out. Keen, low on mana. Flash forward from Lebrov, determined to get it. Just wants to keep going forward. Lebrov getting lower and lower. Hansama waiting over the wall. He might just die in an instant, but the Q, the Acathian Rain almost gets the job done. Finally, Keen goes down. G2 trying to fight their way through the deficit. Just keep going. And they managed. Level 7 there for Caps. Skewmon waiting over the wall.
Big chunks.
Nice gold card onto Chovy, trying to outspace here. Unraveled Earth there. And Chovy just speeding off at a distance. Power of that phase rush. Skewmon hits him with the what? The flash forward.
Might not have his item down, but he's pushing already.
I thought it was like a figure of speech when they said he went where he pleases. The downside is, as much as G2 are getting plays, giving us reasons to get excited, they're still conceding objectives around the map. Do anything. The Mundo passive, immune to that initial piece of CC as Broken Blade forced to ult. Ruler, nice movement thus far, but Q2 does connect. Broken Blade just using it for a bit of extra healing. The Corki pressure, still pretty massive. Conqueror proc doesn't have Triforce yet, but still really starting to hurt.
It's the gold, right? As Ruler
caught out. Gold card wasn't ready for it. Chovy's here, but it might be too late. One more auto coming in. The Infernal Chains bring him right back into the waiting arms of Broken Blade.
And now the gold lead.
Stepping up for the gold card. That much faster because of the scuttle.
The poke is hitting, but Gen.G, they're just starting the dragon, and Keen's here without TP. I don't think they can contest.
Skewmon.
Another one.
Walking forward. Won't be able to get it. Gen.G, good patience.
Ruler. He's pretty far up.
Spotting Hansama. Lebrov on the way in. Ulti hits. Cleanses there. Ruler retreating. Zenith Blade doesn't quite connect. Gen.G able to keep their 80 carry standing, but double sums from Ruler.
Still a big win. You get both cleanse and flash.
It's a big cancel if they can find it. Caps' TP available, but he's still going to lose all those creeps because he has to recall. Hansama.
He's going to keep on going. Chovy has ult. Can try and look for a play here.
And Canyon doesn't have to do anything. He just has to hover. Yep. Like there is the threat. It forces. It stops all the recalls. Skewmon grabbing the mid wave, and now it's Broken Blade in trouble. Ulting. World Ender trying to make it out. Taking his time as he's knocked back. Good damage goes through. Broken Blade continuing to step up, feeling confident.
Might be looking for another collapse name, but reinforcements are on the way.
No ulti, but he does have the flash. Knocked into the wall. Skarner setup. Beautifully layered. The TP coming through as well. Broken Blade's got nowhere to go. Extra healing coming from the Thunder Sky, just trying to delete the wave, but he's going to get flicked back as Keen grabs the kill.
No longer going to be the case as Gen.G in the span of just a few minutes with a couple of great plays.
Chovy
able to get further ahead.
Blue Smite. Slow doesn't quite hit. Forced to flash away. Mundo just keeps going. Duro has to be careful.
I know about this one.
Spell immune now. Decent damage. Mitigating what he can. Exhaust going too. Ulti coming in from Caps. Bit of CC, but doesn't connect the stun. Duro able to find the knockback, but Caps is still in the area. Skewman immediately going to ult, trying to keep this fight going. Chovy not able to find the flick as Caps flashes out. Gen.G, a lot of resources burned. Ruler finally able to get here.
But despite it, they got Herald. They already got what they wanted, Dracos. It was a heist, and they were like, well, let's see if we can fight. Can't fight? It's okay. It was backing off.
And while the kills are close, it's the same story it's been this entire game. G2 conceding so many objectives, so many little things across the map to make these plays. I love the lust for blood, the hunger, the aggressiveness, the confidence.
Oh, Chovy, no flash. Does have his ult, but there's a lot of CC here.
Brav not able to find the Zenith Blade. Good sidestep from Caps, taking their time. LeBron gonna tank it. Shield coming in just in time for Chovy. The fully stacked tier doing a ton of work.
And they might get this dragon. And yeah, it's Cloud. That feels...
Canyon.
Oh, Canyon.
The 50-50. Skewmon manages to get it. And now the immediate retreat, but the mid lane tower already gone. Ruler does a lot of damage. Duro knockback, but doesn't find Hansama into the wall. Canyon going forward, will get Broken Blade. Big damage, and Ruler just allowed to free hit. Skewmon, though, continuing to walk forward. Skewmon completely unconcerned about the damage. Duro goes down. Canyon likely next. He's getting next to the wall because he desperately needs to run away, but Skewmon is on the chase. Going where he damn well pleases, but he's on the opposite side of the wall, and now it's Chovy. Looking to engage. Broken Blade taking massive damage. The Aatrox likely to fall. Flash away. Umbral dash. And Keen keeps the pressure up. G2 again.
But this
They're getting fights. They're getting close now, but they're losing everything else.
That's the problem. Yes, you get the top, or you get the mid lane play. You kill the Poppy. But while that's happening, Keen is pushing so hard that there's no other opportunity for you than just keep responding. Skewmon just gets obliterated in his own jungle, by the way, as the damage clearly is there. This early lead on the Mundo not quite working out, but the fact that Caps doesn't get to respond, because if he goes and TPs in, and that fight is not a complete and utter win, like Keen gets an inner. Instead he gets an inner, which still feels bad, but it's these cross-map plays as Gen.G, they just keep setting up these traps, and it looks like Caps has fallen for it again.
Caught out, has the ulti. But the CC held.
They're not going to use, oh, yeah, not waiting until the end. Mid lane being as low as they were. No contest possible. That's going to be Otacon here for Gen.G as they keep inching closer and closer to that match victory. Looking at the item spikes, though, for G2. Maybe once Hans gets a little bit further in as, ooh, the TP.
Trying to find the engage. LeBron off to the side, locking down Canyon. Gold card ready to go. Impale only going to connect on one. Skewmon here as well. Canyon going to get taken down. Kill donated to Caps. A big goal.
Coming through. I think Gen.G don't want to give over any chance for G2 to get this Drake.
In. They managed to find Chovy off on the side, though. An early departure from the wall. Sees him face-to-face with Skewmon. Broken Blade going 1v1 versus Keen, and it doesn't look like he's going to come out on top. And a quick flash! Massive healing coming in the Sundered Sky. Just in time. Gold card from behind. Chovy locked up. Unraveled Earth perfectly hits on Zama. Now Ruler just throwing down damage. Caps forced back. Gold card giving them a bit more space. They don't quite have the follow-ups. The poke from the Aatrox Q is there. Gen.G retreating. G2 with
the Dragon. Gonna go over. Not gonna be found, but with those kills and that shutdown, 2-0. G2 keep the gold close.
2 Dragons to 2. Duro goes in. We'll be able to just immediately walk away. He is forced to use the heal.
No, he just cleansed his spellbook. Yeah. Also has McKills in case Ruler gets in trouble.
I respect anyone who brings cleanse to Summoner's spellbook.
That's good.
You got steadfast presence.
And Yen finds Skewmon. Both of them, I think, just looking for a stack. The turret goes down.
Gen.G keeping pressure mid.
Hans is pushing, though, and he goes unanswered for now. Giving him additional vision. Knows, tries to set up for Dragon just with a little bit too many people. Collapse on Baron can be very, very swift here.
Broken Blade matching Keen thus far. Caps immediately going bot lane. Keen, the member who doesn't have that extra lockup, doesn't have the extra cleanse, and he's going to get taken down. But Gen.G immediately pulled the trigger in the meantime. It's Eyes in the mid lane. As Ruler will find Skewmon. Manages to connect. No immediate follow-up. Chovy for now uncontested. Flash from LeBron keeps him safe. Broken Blade in the pit. Hansama and Caps on the side. Chovy focused on the objective. The Baron, the sprites are bad, but they managed to get it in the end. Canyon takes the objective. Broken Blade free firing. Caps still standing. Duro down. Broken Blade still going. Flashing out. Caps can't go toe-to-toe with Canyon, but the gold card might be able to buy him a bit of a second, a bit more time. It's still the Baron down. A triple for Ruler. G2 cannot make it happen.
Ruler, I know you love your Quadras, but I don't know about chasing the Aatrox into fog. He's not afraid. He's just going to keep on going. Broken Blade. Mission impossible. They see him.
The Emerald dash, but Chovy against the wall. Too fast.
Oh.
One more dash over the wall. Still running. An auto on a minion to buy a bit more health. Infernal Chain. Skewmon on the way in. Gen.G.
I think he's out Keen. Coming in on an angle.
Forward. Flick doesn't connect. Shock blast from Keen.
Not going to die.
Ooh.
Not even close, baby. The fact that Broken Blade doesn't have his ulti to actually get the big resets, and Chovy goes uncontested in this fight, means that the objective doesn't go their way. Baron goes towards Gen.G, the Rebel Power play. Not that impressive yet, but it gets them the soul point.
Damage carries.
Death cap for Chovy as
Broken
well.
Blade flicked back, and he's just gonna die in the blink of an eye. A blinking health bar, he'll live. It's close.
Not even close. Round 2.
That's twice. If he was a cat, he'd be 7 out of 9 lives down at this point. Caps, flash to the side, gets away from the Impale, but Gen.G looks like they're just going for the throat. They want to end it here. Game 1, G2 managed to find the advantage, managed to find the win. But since then, it's been Gen.G from start to finish. Ruler isolated wall from Canyon to keep him standing. It's Han Sama! Chovy's damage. Doing the work, knockup going in from Duro. Lebrov trying to retreat, that's the ulti. Canyon ready to go forward. Chovy just continues to lay down the poke. And Gen.G merciless as they march into the base of G2.
And G2, they gave it their all, but even the early leads, not enough as Gen.G march on the base. Caps behind them.
Caps behind to go golden. Managed to buy the Seekers just in time for the flick back. Skewmon in the midst of the team. Broken Blade standing, but as long as Ruler's alive, that healing reduction is just too much. The front line of G2 slowly being whittled away. Duro taking down the tower, set to fall. Keen jumping in. Finding the kill is Skewmon. There's nothing left. He's taken out. Gen.G send a statement to the rest of MSI. We will not falter.
And a slow start from Gen.G, but that counter punch, I think, hurting all the more. Game 2, and the final game in the series. Gen.G really showing through methodical play, right? The things they're known for, the macro, some of the decisions around vision, around objectives, but to me, that third game is the scariest. Canyon on that Lee. That's the type of stuff you have to deal with if you want to beat this team in the best of 5.
It's a terrifying team to go toe-to-toe against again. Game 1. You find the win, but you awaken the beast, and they're just so damn good. 2, calm, collected. 4, messy as G2 made it. And 3, an absolute slaughter for G2. They've been in this situation once before in playoffs, play-ins already against PLG. Here they managed to find a game. They have another chance in the lower bracket. We'll find their opponent soon enough. As is the same for Gen.
It is going to be the Ornn. We talked about it early on. All reliable here for Keen. Just going to play for the rest of his team. Not going to be the most fun matchup, but once you get Koenig, you can kind of just, I think, want to desperately try and get at least a grub.
They've done a good job of keeping Hope gated from coming in through that top side of the river. Chovy being forced away again in that mid lane. Gen.G are the first on the grubs, but AL have secured one. TP coming in. Tarzan looking for this. Can't land as Canyon gets a smite. TP from Kin. Call to the forward. Duro with a double knock-up. And onto the back line. Kyle is already knocked up and taken out. First blood to Gen.G. The dive in from Tarzan, but now he's in the middle of the enemy team. Tarzan falls second. Chovy goes between worlds. And AL is sent to the afterlife. Hope able to kill Canyon off, but Hope should go down. Brandra with a flame spitter will be able to get one of his own. Keen can't get in range and doesn't have the mana to kill off Hope or Shanks. Ruler's going to be able to walk away. Keen comes in. The curtain's open, but Shanks is just outside the window, unable to be connected there. Blandrick takes the fine couple of shots. Kale coming across as well. Shanks has enough mana for another disintegrate. The electrocute procs, and Keen will fall in the end. A 3-for-3 exchange.
When all is said and done, it's a relatively even trade. Even the grubs are 1-to-1.
Yeah, I was gonna say no one actually has cleared out that final grub. But that was a really, really messy fight, and Tarzan might be in trouble.
He's going to try and walk away from this one. Canyon comes in with a Wind Becomes Lightning, but doesn't follow it up with an Audacious Charge, and now they turn it back onto Duro, because Hope is here, and he rings Eternal. Tarzan heals up through the Triumph, and Canyon's down as well. AL will get the cherry on top of this cake with a grub to boot.
Yeah, I was going to say, meanwhile, Flandra is just cleaning up that last grub, thanks to being able to push in that mid wave.
Yeah, not going to be any contest from Gen.G.
Pulling the TP from Keen, able to get Tarzan's flash out of there.
Duro with a knockback. Unbreakable Will so powerful at this moment of the game. The equalizer not really going to hit onto too much. TP coming in from Chovy as well as Canyon is trading with Flandre. The curtain's open and Hope goes in with a killer instinct. Ruler flashes away, but now Keen's here to save his AD carry. He can't do that! Kyle up towards the top side with the Grand Skyfall coming in. He's going to fall first. Flandre getting chased down by Canyon as well, but he'll get the kill with a Flame Splitter. Now Tarzan's on the face of Chovy and will continue to chase him down. Duro, Berto, Crisp! It's well done states for
targeting, as well as Hope just kind of going really, really deep in the back line, chasing after Ruler.
Because the moment I saw that Jin setup, I thought that Gen.G actually
again, this Rumble pick for Flandre. He's had so much presence in these team fights. As Duro's gonna get onto Kyle a little bit.
Tibber's going to come down as well. Maybe just harass them so they can't go for this full tower dive. AL don't have any defenders.
And that does allow, again, Flandre to get some key one-on-one time with this top lane tier 1 turret, which he will take down for anyone's legend. And additionally, they're dropping this Herald in mid, so they're going to polish up that mid tier 1 as well. Really nice map play from AL in response to this Drake taken.
They're still going.
And they're looking for the tier 2 as well, with the TP coming in from Flandre. Maybe they thought they could fight
this down as long as he can thin out the wave enough, and there we go. So some really nice map pressure coming out of AL. This composition is kind of designed for
TP available. We'll see if AL is going to fall from the bait. Gen.G, I think, looking for the 5v5.
Yeah, Duro going in, TP coming out immediately from AL as they want to try and trade it back. Hope the first target here. The knockup coming out from Keen as well, but the equalizer now to the back line, and they haven't killed off Hope or Shanks. Keen forced down to about 2/3 HP as Hope dives forward, and Keen will die first. AL once again turn around the fight.
The ult!
And Starfall immediate stun onto Chovy, who jumps backward between worlds. Kyle going in with the Magnet Storm, surviving for oh so long. The chase continues as Hope has found a perfect flank onto Ruler. Ruler down, Duro to follow. Chovy flashes to safety, but the rest of Gen.G do not have that luxury. Canyon has to dash a wave, and AL will turn their eyes to Atakan.
Hope getting revenge on one of the AD carries. He's been bad, right? It's that his teams have always been like, okay, but we found someone better in Viper.
To contest this.
Flandre on his way has the equalizer, also has the Seekers if he wants to get a little bit aggressive. Keen on that front line. Tarzan jumping onto Ruler. There's the equalizer follow-up. Duro with a good knock-up, but Hope cannot be stifled. Ruler down. Between worlds goes Chovy, but they just don't have the damage. Canyon's on top of Hope, but he supercharges his way to safety, and Chovy once again is running for the hill. AL wipe away Gen.G.
They take down Gen.G, they get the Drake.
Keen gets out as well.
Hope is absolutely stellar in these fights. They're going to be able to clean up Chovy on the backside of this.
So Keen barely gets out. Chovy uses his TP. The lack of front line maybe becomes a problem down the line, but right now they're down. 7.5k gold, and Tarzan is looking.
Equalizer coming out. Tarzan looking for the flank onto Ruler. Kyle there for the follow-up. The Magnet Storm comes out. They just have so many tools in their toolbox. AL can miss everything and still kill off Gen.G. Chovy and Canyon trying to get back to the safety of their base, but Tarzan's having none of it. He'll pull Chovy back. The chase continues. The spear is ulting into the base. Kyle dashing forward as well as AL have used Tibbers to tank up their mid lane inhibitor tower, and Chovy falls where he should be safe. AL now on the inhibitors.
Gen.G have not been able to protect Ruler in these fights, especially against this composition. Once it got rolling, all eyes are on Ruler. One member of AL is diving, and he is out.
This is domination. It's a shellacking. Gen.G 20 series undefeated, and AL come out in game 1 and have shown them what they're about. Gen.G can't defend, and the LPL shines strong. 1-0 in this best of 5.
Oh, I'm so happy at anyone's Legends performance. This is, again, such a fun team to watch, and a team with so many players with a chip on their shoulder, right? Like, people were saying, oh, maybe Flandra's lost it, you know? Tarzan had not won a domestic final until this, so really amazing game 1 from them.
It really was. We'll see what the analyst desk have to say about that. They don't have a huge amount of gameplay to analyze, I'll be honest. It was over that fast.
Thank you so much, guys. It took a while, honestly, before we had a game-breaking play. I feel, first comment I want to make here, though, Tabit draft, good.
Yes, I love that draft. The one point that I was concerned about to see, like, how bot lane laning phase was going to go, just seeing the Kai'Sa, like, seeing how active it was going to be early on, but Hope and Kyle really held their own and played really well.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the most classic support counters we have ever seen. It's going to be a hard lane for Ruler and Duro, in my opinion.
I like it when it comes to the ability to mitigate this. And Canyon's going to use that to get himself some chickens here. Just farming up a storm as if there they go!
The paranoia coming out from Canyon. Destiny, the fear procs just in time to stop the escape.
No flash available means that Shanks is easy pickings towards the top side. Cute there, Ruler being able to use the Shroud to stealth Duro so that even though he was stunned, they couldn't get more. Summoner trades, if they're even though, is favorable for AL because Kyle is sitting. Oh,
Duro! Ignite, Duro flashes. The Mystic Shot was gonna find him, and he will survive.
Push in towards that wave. I don't think the Grubs are gonna go the way of Gen.G, which with a composition like this, I think is a big deal. AL also have a lot of split pushing power. We'll see how much Gen.G is able to get. If they can get Keen even further ahead while also picking up a Dragon, they might not feel too bad about it, but particularly with TF and Jax, and denying it from Gwen and Azir, that's a big deal.
Yeah, and we do see the TPs coming out towards that bot lane, but Gen.G are going to be able to clean up this Drake. It doesn't look like AL are going to be able to do anything about it, right? So this is a super pushing plates game. However, Gen.G were easily able to get the vision in first rotation onto this Drake, although AL are looking to contest.
Keeper's Verdict comes out, Keen dodges it. Ruler doesn't do the same. Flandre now looking for a flank of his own as Canyon is going to be healed up, but he gets the double counter-strike stun into the Glacial Fissure, and I think Duro is just done for. Flandre will pick up AL's first kill of the game.
The threat of a counter-strike is always there, and Banana Brush controls there for Kyle. Teleport comes in.
Kyle's going to get hooked, but puts up the Unbreakable immediately. Glacial Fissure going down, only hits onto Duro. Keeper's Verdict being channeled by Tarzan. He doesn't finish it. There's the paranoia. Trophy looking for the flank position, but he's stunned off first. Canyon falling low, the jump back in with the counter-strike from Flandre. Chovy and Keen, though, on the backline with the Emperor's Divide. Chovy's going to fall Flandre. The Dawning Shadow, he jumps away from it. Keen trying to snip through Shanks, but Shanks flashes the wall. And in the end, a one-point. Keeper's Verdict. Tarzan stops the channel on it. There's the Destiny pop to give vision. Keen's going to jump into the pit. The hook lands. Unbreakable going down as well. Depth Charge used onto Hope. Keen trading down towards the bottom side as we see so much damage happening in the pit. Keen's going to get the kill. The Dawning Shadow with the Emperor's Divide in from Chovy, and now it's all on Shanks and Hope to try and survive, but Gen.G are having none of it. They try and chase them out. The Drake almost killing Chovy. Hope dashes back in, straight into a dredge line, and he gets 2 for it. Shanks looking for a little bit more. Everyone's so low. Has that gold card locked in. Ruler is able to get a bit of range advantage here as Shanks now needs to run away, has no cards left to pick. Chovy dashes in, and it's the ace for Gen.G.
And although Hope almost turns it around with a 2-item spike, it's the team fighting from Gen.G. This time working out nicely. The turn onto Flandre, beautifully done there, and it takes away a lot of the safety for AL.
Yeah, as you see, obviously the TF ult coming down from Vision, but then Keen is their attention to side waves, right? They've had their side wave pushed out
There's the ult.
pretty consistently.
Verdict, double TP coming out. Last Embrace going to hit onto the Poppy. Duro knocked up, but I believe he buffered a hook out of that or something. Keen looking for the flank position. AL take control of the outer con. Ruler low. Shanks has a gold card locked in, but Keen uses the Hallowed Mist to dodge away from it. Counter-strike coming in as well as Tarzan is knocked up and snipped down by Keen. Canyon falling low. He doesn't get the smite off in time. Absolutely anyone's legends will claim the outer con. No, it's Chovy actually that takes it in the end. As AL now on the retreat. The hook just short. As AL heal used by anyone's legends just to get a little bit of extra health underneath this tower. The tower, the target for Gen.G, and they will secure it. Put down the there as well. Flandre's going to catch the bot wave, uses the counter-strike. There's the Destiny as well for a little bit more vision. Keeper's Verdict comes down. No one is found guilty, and the hook connects immediately. Tarzan has to flash away, and Gen.G haven't lost any health yet. They continue to push forward onto Kyle. Canyon going in with the paranoia as well. Flandre looking for the counter-strike, but all of Gen.G scatter, and he finds no one. He'll go to an early grave as Gen.G turn their eyes towards the soul.
And again, you see just how difficult it is, even when AL are trying to set up. If Gen.G are parked in a spot, it's so hard for them to come in, even with the TF ult coming through for Vision, right?
AL are going to try for a desperate play. We see multiple TPs coming in. Cal, Hope, both making their way over. And Gen.G, they're trying to respond.
Chovy's already TP'd up towards that top side, has the Emperor's Divide, the only ultimate available for Gen.G.
Keen has his.
7,000 on the Baron. Canyon trying to get in here, doesn't have smite. Canyon doesn't have smite and can't secure it, but Gen.G will look for the fight afterwards. Hope might just have to jump out of the back of the pit as the Baron has been taken by anyone's legend, and Hope just about escapes with his life, then has the flash, but Keen's on the chase. Hope with a good arcane shift over towards the
Hextech Soul!
The Hextech Soul for the slow is enough. Keen gets the kill.
Pushing on the top side, Keen was able to take out that tier 2 in the bot side, and it's looking great for Gen.G.
It's looking good. The fact that not only do they give up a bunch of kills, but give up the Hextech Soul, it's just so hard to imagine that they're going to be able to get any value.
Duro's looking for the flank. Tarzan rooted with the last embrace. Chovy's here as well. Keen's on his way towards the back of the fight. Keeper's verdict coming out will knock away Keen, and perhaps anyone's legend will think this is a fight they can take. They can't.
Canyon.
Right now with the paranoia coming out. Shanks getting chased down. Kyle down to half HP. Tarzan the same. The Hextech Soul doing so much work as Keen comes in and snips them to pieces. Chovy flashing forward. Blandre with the counter-strike once again. Just can't land the stun. Gen.G wipe away anyone's legend.
And a clean ace for Gen.G. Heralds the end of the second game. Objectives going their way. The pace pulled back. AL not able to draw them into the chaos the way they did in that game number 1.
Ruler flashing the JDG emote as he sieges in onto the inhibitor and the Nexus.
Gen.G show that there's a reason in series they haven't lost in 20 of them. They even it out at 1-on-1. But anyone's legend, they really didn't find purchase in the game at all.
Good bounce back, and this is what a lot of teams that face Gen.G run into as well. It's if they do have early prio, and I think we saw both with Flandre's level 1 over extending, not being able to really make anything happen after that, plus the fact that after the early kill, Chovy had prio against Shanks. If you don't have prio, you don't get to ever set up a decent fight. Gen.G is not going to let you play the game.
Very true. For both teams now, we get further into Fearless. We're going to start to see a few more pocket picks coming out. We've already seen some great things. You know, Chovy's Azir, world-renowned overall. I wonder if there's, you know, a few like Yorick picks and such like that coming out in the next few games. I would love a Flandre Yorick. We're going to hand it over to the analyst to break down that game and take us into game 3.
We have entered LCK's territory here. Gen.G came back and said, you know what, guys? If you want to fight, we're going to do it up.
The fact that you're playing into Vi, you're playing into Taliyah, which outside, or obviously in the laning phase, is the 1 versus 1. I think Taliyah really does struggle once Akali comes online. But in the team fight, you're still going to really have to play around. Possible dive being set up here. We'll see if Canyon actually is going to commit. Definitely wants his scuttle first.
Yeah, he'll want that first, but Keen is doing quite well.
Always a little bit risky to dive a Scion though, especially when he has a cookie. Even if you pull off the dive effectively, the zombie form comes out. It does look like Canyon's on his way across here. There's a ward that's going to spot him. No. Flandre down to 150 HP, pops the cookie early. Canyon hit with a decimating smash. No one tanking the tower now, but there's only 1 minion left. Oh, good flash from Flandre, but Canyon follows it perfectly. The zombie form will chase him. Canyon has to flash to escape.
That is 2 flashes for a flat, or the cookie in his inventory could have locked for some damage. As Tarzan
still has the flash here. Canyon going in. There's the Weaver's Wall as well. Good stun onto Chovy. Hope comes in for a bit of damage. The seismic shove not connecting there. Shanks now looking for the flank. A good piercing arrow from Hope will take Duro down alongside Chovy, and in the end, Gen.G don't find the fight.
I see some question mark things. What's Crab doing there?
He went on a magical journey, man. Oh, good stun with the Cosmic Binding. Canyon now the target. Hits 6, though. Has the cease and desist. Bolt Breaker stopped by the pillar. Canyon will cease and desist forward, but Shanks is still on the chase. Another Cosmic Binding connects, and Canyon falls. Canyon doesn't have flash right now. Duro and Chovy fighting off towards the top side. Tarzan on the Drake should be able to secure this with his smite. And in the end, Gen.G started up the Drake, but anyone's legends very happily.
And go from there. Whereas AL may be looking to stow a Bard. That ultimate is available for Kael and not for Duro.
Canyon goes in, the Vault Breaker doesn't hit Weaver's wall from Chovy to try and separate Cease and Desist. But now Canyon's on the wrong side of the wall from the rest of his team, and Hope just deletes him. Keen in the middle of the public's execution is only going to hit onto Kael, but he flashes forward and he will kill off Hope. Flandre now with the decimating smash. Chovy flashing up towards the top side. Perfect execution from Shanks for the follow-up. The 5-point strike, not enough, but Shanks will still find it. Dodges away from Duro as well. Keen's going to dally in around the blue buff, surviving for now, but should be chased down by Kael and Flandre.
And Gen.G, they need to be synced up, but it's anything but. Canyon goes in, there's no quickness available. Do they have the damage to take this down before the wall goes down?
I think the answer is most decidedly not. Unstoppable Onslaught coming out from Flandre as he looks for the backline. The Drake the target firstly here for Gen.G. Tarzan stepping forward, knocked back, the smite comes out, and it's Canyon. Cease and Desist coming out as well as they look for the backline. Perfect execution. Canyon's gonna fall. Meanwhile, Shanks on the backline looking for a little bit more. He's on Chovy. Can chase forward, dodges the seismic shove, and Flandre takes the kill in the end. Shanks still going in, dodges the battle dance and the grand entrance as well. Keen trying to get in, but Shanks' fancy feet are just sublime. Decimating smash will hit Ruler, but no real follow-up.
Shanks styling on the
execution available for Shanks. Public execution available for Keen. He jumps in. It's Kael the target. There's the quickness as well, and Kael is down. Duro will secure the kill. Meanwhile, on the backline, once again, it's Shanks, but they still have the Cease and Desist. He has to flash away from the Mega Inferno Bomb, and then dashes his way away as well with a perfect execution. The Rift Herald secured for AL. Weaver's wall coming in from Chovy. Seismic shove does not connect. Flandre on the front line. Unstoppable Onslaught won't be enough. Hope has to flash the wall. Keen's going to flash to follow him. Flandre tracing the rest of Gen.G away. Keen's going to die. Hope goes down as well. In the end, AO do get the Rift Herald, but the
optimistic TP.
TP sucks.
Very
coming
kind.
in from Flandre. There, as we see AL now rotating towards this top side of the map, get a really nice amount of damage on this top side turret, actually able to take all of it. Yep.
That's gone.
Yeah, with the frozen domain as well, it's just so quick. Quickness coming out, though. Double TP immediately invested from Gen.G as Duro looking to dance around this. Keen trying to fight it as well with the pillar going down. Keen continues to chase Chovy with the Weaver's Wall onto Shanks, but the Unstoppable Onslaught from Flandre will distract Gen.G enough. Canyon has the Mega Blast Cone. Vault Breaker across would get him in range, but in the end, anyone has his teleport. He's going to TP down towards that bot lane Tribush. The Dragon already down at 5,000 HP, a flank position as well for Ruler, but he's caught out by Shanks and immediately assassinated! Shanks him as Duro now with the quickness can only run and hide. Keen the next target, Duro comes back in and it's a double for Shanks. Anyone's legends collapse immediately.
Dragon into potentially Otacon. They should just rotate immediately over. What a play from Shanks, and also what a setup from AL. Again, making sure this Akali gets out of the early laning phase, is able to immediately, in this particular fight, hop directly onto Ruler, and this was also the problem we had in game one, right? When AL were able to
chasing Flandre out, but he still doesn't take any damage. Good explosive minefield though from Ruler will keep AL from really being able to enter the river again. Canyon down on the Drake, 4,000 on it. Tarzan turning onto Keen, but he has a GA. Unstoppable Onslaught goes between the upright. Seismic Shove is going to connect. Canyon dashing back in. Keen being kept up towards the top side, but AL are scattered. Flandre down, goes into the zombie form. The quickness coming out as well. Duro chases forward, and Gen.G have delayed for long enough. The Weaver's wall in from Chovy, the dash away from Shanks. Unraveled Earth will get the stun onto him, and Keen continues to chase. Shanks has to flash away, but AL have already lost 3.
And the hero there is Keen, right? He distracted.
Keen goes in, Hope goes down. Shanks the only one standing from AL.
Just as I'm saying, the hero of that fight was Keen. He distracted and took so much damage while Flandre was not able to do the same for AL. AL essentially end up leashing this Drake for Gen.G. Gen.G take it, they take the fight, and now they're going to take Baron.
The poke is always going to be favored for Gen.G because they can sustain a lot more, and with both that Talia as well as the Ziggs, as long as you hold off on actually pulling the trigger, as we're going to see.
Power coming out of Ruler's Ziggs as Flandre is in trouble again.
The Weaver's wall separating him from the rest of AL. Chovy will take the kill. The gold swing 4,000 now in favor of Gen.G, well, 3.5. And they've shown us, like, if they can have these slightly more scattered fights without Shanks on a flank, it's really difficult for anyone's legend actually to get on that backline.
Without Shanks on a flank, with Keen threatening to be able to dive on key to both people and turrets, or to both champions and turrets, rather.
Oh yeah. And Chovy pushing mid, we saw there as well. Ruler just using his ultimate to gain to clear rather a wave in mid. That mid lane turret still standing. Satchel used. The Shanks should be able to get back to his turret or not.
Assist. Duro's going in with the quickness as well as they look for the chase onto Shanks, who's popped the stopwatch. Knocked back with the seismic shove as well as Shanks just doesn't get an opportunity to move. Gen.G have woken up in this game and AL just cannot answer them. Duro dashing forward, getting onto Hope, knocked back with the satchel charge as well as Keen continues to chase. Flandre in the middle of 5. What can you do in the face of so much hate? Gen.G will lose 1. They'll clean up the fight and they'll look towards the Nexus.
Duro in his first international, popping off on that Rakan, able to follow up on every engage. And Gen.G, with this Red Bull Baron power play, it's not even going to time out, it looks like.
Nope.
No one's alive on AL. Gen.G about to get to match point.
They just rip control of the game away from anyone's legend, and they are 1 game away from their 21st series in a row.
This is exactly what makes Gen.G so dangerous. This is why they are the favorites to win this tournament. You give them a small window and they completely took over a game that was looking very back and forth for a really long time. I thought AL did a really good job of stopping, again, that initial Zig setup, but once Gen.G were able to take control at that Drake fight, they immediately slammed the door on AL.
Despite Shanks' best efforts, it's an amazing early skirmishes. AL, just like many a team in the LCK, the moment that Gen.G truly get control of a game, it can be over so quickly. Now we do know both these teams, again, the ability to bounce back is there, and come on.
I love this.
Not another
It's
3-1.
Yeah.
I want to get to 5.
3-2. Silver Scrapes, let's go.
I will say AL won the first game. So
No, that's outdated info.
Yeah.
That's outdated info?
Yeah.
I forgot who
FlyQuest
it was.
also won the first game.
Yeah, but that's NA versus EU. We all knew FlyQuest was going to win that, right? That's how that
Certainly.
works.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up.
That's okay. Okay. I've just been crying under the desk most of the day.
Yeah, actually, I think you're doing a really good job of not making it show on
it's been
cast.
great, you know?
Appreciate it. I
Credit to
appreciate it. Thank you. We'll see if Law's sad over at the analyst desk. Law, take it away.
Yeah, I think
Can play around them. Neferi instead, a different AD jungler. Only won 1 game so far out of 5 here at MSI.
Yeah, I mean, we're full, like, circle gaming, kind of, from AL, right? Like, picking that up very, very early on in this game. Start that Drake stacking super early, right off of that lane swap.
Tarzan still here.
Snuck behind them. Duro and Ruler, though, should be able to walk away. Good route onto Duro means that Tarzan can just wait out the flag and drag combo. Duro the first to fall. Tarzan looks for a little bit more, but can't quite catch out Ruler.
Nice, Tarzan's patience pays off.
Getting 1 should be doable.
Kyle, who is this Hope here, is level 6. So he has the Pop Blossom if he wants to go for the fight. Switches into Tarzan, flag and drag in. There's a Hero's Entrance as well as they look for Ruler. There's the Pop Blossom from Kyle across the wall immediately. Canyon able to dodge away from it with a Hound's Pursuit, though. Ruler forced up towards the top side. 1 grub already secured for anyone's legend. They'll take the second, and they will take the third alongside it.
I jokingly called this circle gaming, but that's exactly what you want, right? Like the setup.
Chovy going in onto Hope, immediately dashing forward. The Pop Blossom stolen away. Hope has to flash. Kyle will fall for it, though.
And it feels like a repeat of the play that
So he's going to go on to Chovy. Kyle forced out the all-out on Hope. It's Hope that he's got. I thought it was the shape splitter, but Keen finds the all-out.
Shanks is heading up from mid.
Canyon trying to get in for the steal. There's the eye there for him as well. Could use that with the smite. Tarzan will secure it. Pop Blossom on the backline. Ruler with a cleanse, but he's caught by the Strangled Thorns. The engage as well with a flash. Taunt. Keen getting chased away by Flandre. But he will manage to survive. Rifthold picked up by anyone's legend.
And Chovy had TP but didn't want to use it, so instead AL get everything they wanted as well as the sums of the bot lane of Gen.G.
Yeah, the sums, and Shanks just barely missed in catching Ruler as well on the backside of that fight, but now they're just going to pop this Herald in the mid lane, get extra damage on this mid turret, and take down this Crab on the top side.
And with those sums not being available, Duro in particular is so susceptible to Tarzan as Gen.G is looking to fight.
Tarzan's being really greedy here. Chovy has stolen away the Cataclysm, but a good make it rain from Hope will slow them down enough. Tarzan going back in towards Chovy. The flank position as well from Shanks is not the best. He's knocked back and taken out. Gen.G claimed the field of warfare. Cataclysm flashed away by Hope. Shanks on his way down, has that hero's entrance. The dragon down to 5,000 HP.
Will be spotted.
TP coming across, as you say, Chovy spotted. Shanks looking for it. Tarzan goes in. There's a hero's entrance. Cataclysm mob, and that's the wombo combo that anyone's legends were looking for. Keen goes all out, dashes forward onto Hope, and will get the kill. He'll fall forward. Good on Topuz with a 3-man knockup, but only Canyon and Chovy stay standing.
Really, really nicely done from AL, and you see the power of these ultimates when they're combined. They see Chovy coming in on the flank, and that is the go button, right? As soon as Shanks is able to go in, they end up cleaning up that Drake, and that's huge. They stop
right, because a Caitlyn on multiple items, a Silas that has the both an incredible amount of AP as well as ability haste, and Neferi as well as Cassante in those fights. I think you're going to be feeling good about as possible
As Chovy goes in, they're going to go for the fight. The flash away, but there's the Cataclysm for the follow-up. The taunt comes out, and Chovy is locked in the pit. He'll fall. Gen.G Tarzan's the one that's got all the kills. 4-0-1 on this Jarvan. Does have a 1.5k gold lead, but obviously Jarvan, as the game goes on, falls off a little bit. Chovy caught out again as Flandre is looking for the chase. He can just dash across the wall. There's the Cataclysm, though, in from Tarzan. Hero's entrance there for the follow-up, and Chovy has no flash to escape. Hope takes the kill. Chovy falls for the second time this game.
And Chovy has had a relatively muted series, but in this game, he's straight up just getting...
Good call from Gen.G to sneak this one away. Pings come out from Tarzan as he spots that this is happening, but he can't get in range to get the smite off, and Gen.G pull off a Chovy. Everyone else on the map has that summoner available. Keen has snuck into this bush, but AL begin to wrest control back in their favors. Keen knocked into the wall. Ace in the hole is going to hit onto Hope. The taunt going out onto that Cassante. Canyon almost jumped on by Tarzan, but good eviscerate will get him away. Keen has TP, so he can base and get back into the action.
As we see, clearing out vision.
Oh, there's the TP.
Right back in.
That's aggressive.
Keen, Pop Blossom onto Ruler. Tarzan there for the follow-up. Cataclysm coming in, the hero's entrance, stolen away by Chovy. Will keep Ruler alive. Keen goes in with the all-out, pulling Tarzan back into the team. Canyon looking for the flank onto Flandre. He'll go in with the house, but Super Keen's already dead. Juro low as well. The hero's entrance countered by Shanks as he dashes forward. Chovy down, Ruler and Juro and Canyon, the only 3 left alive.
And Canyon was waiting, but to what end? AL, they weren't thinking about going back. Flandre not looking to retreat to the safety of his jungle. Instead, they were just playing forward.
And even when he did end up going on to Flandre, Shanks is there to help protect him, right? Which is absolutely massive from him, as we see how this fight started with the TP coming in, and Kyle with a Pop Blossom right onto Ruler.
And they are able to keep Ruler alive for a decent amount, but it's the decision of Canyon to stay in the... Flandre as well hasn't died this game. Been, I think, having great positioning in the fights as well. Thus far has paid off for AL as Keen.
Should be able to get away from this one. Goes all out onto Shanks. He's going to knock back. He's taken out immediately by Flandre. Mum comes in. There's the all-out, in fact, as the Cataclysm comes out onto Ruler. Hero's entrance with the follow-up. There's a Pop Blossom as well, and AL are not done with this fight yet. Canyon trying to escape. Chovy so late on the TP, but Canyon's already down, and there's a Baron available for AL.
This Smolder pick from Flandre is absolutely showing up massively. I think I owe him an apology. I think you owe him an apology as well.
Yeah, you're in the clear. It's all on me here, Emily, as AL looking to take Baron and bring us to the promised game number... Well, actually, he didn't promise, but game number 5!
The game number 5 I wanted, but didn't.
Chovy, 3 items on Ruler. Canyon is strong, you know, Black Cleaver, Spear of Sojourn is a lot, but they are just all so far in the hole when you look at their respective counterparts on AL.
He's strong, but this Neferi pick has not been able to have the impact that Gen.G would have wanted. By contrast, Tarzan has absolutely controlled the pace of this game, as we see the siege potential of this team coming out from both Hope and Flandre here. Shanks cleaning up that tier 2 in the mid. And they're just going to kind of go back and forth between these lanes.
Anyone's Legends are just walking. They're just walking menacingly at Gen.G, and they're having to retreat. Flandre looking for the inhibitor here down towards the bottom side. Will be able to secure it with the Baron buff up for another wave. AL could go for double inhib off this push. Drake is up now.
And AL could even be looking, if they get a pick or two for the end there with the Baron buff, Still on for a little bit longer. TP comes in. They want to keep this pressure going.
Using the shape splitter as well to eat those cupcake. The Yordle Snapchat. Chovy goes in. Pop Blossom is going to land the hero's entrance there for the follow-up, but the time! Hope Untouched just melts through Gen.G, Ruler and Juro, the only two left alive here. AL, do they have the waves to push in?
I think they do. They're going to try. They have a Grubs, so I think they have it.
They have the Grubs, but the backdoor bonus, I think that cannon minion is too far away, so that tower actually gets a bit tankier. There's a wave coming in bot side, and it should be there in time. Still 30 seconds before any reinforcements arrive for Gen.G. Anyone's Legends strike back in game 4 and will take us to Silver Scrapes.
The Silver Scrapes we all wanted. #1 seed of LPL versus #1 seed from LCK. We got to see so much here. Tarzan controlling the pace of the game. Shanks having a phenomenal Galio game. Flandra being vintage Flandra, pulling out this top lane counter pick, Smolder, and absolutely dazzling with it.
Can't wait to see what Game 5 is going to bring. I think this game also in draft bringing us a couple of curveballs included. What was going to go where? Flandre coming up huge here in game number 4. And with Fearless especially, I can't wait to see what is going to be cooked in those drafts.
Teemo into Vayne top, that's what I'm calling it.
Yeah.
I learned from Broxer, that's how you play it, but what a performance from AL to bounce back. You talked about it a lot, Emily. Neither of these teams are a team that's going to tilt. They're both very able to reset, get ready for the next series, and as we reset and get ready, we're going to hand it over to the analyst desk, where I'm sure Raz has something controversial to say.
Let it rip, Raz! Oh, come on! Man, I love Flandre. He's
getting close.
Shen support still a possibility.
Yep.
The Gragas locked in. So, it looks like it is going to be Kyle on the Shen in that supporting role, answering into the
W shouldn't happen. Could be a window for Gen.G.
And Flandra with kind of getting back into this game, and Push is able to get that ward out. Canyon.
Shanks with the early flash, but Canyon's here for the chase. Chovy had the Rune Prison, and down goes Shanks. Canyon secures first blood. Take down Gen.G here, it would just be such a great sign for the region. As Gen.G have taken 2 of the Grubs. Keen goes in onto Tarzan, lands the stun. Kyle trying to get in there as well. Chovy and Duro there. Tarzan, good double impale. The Stand United is going to keep him alive, but now the explosive cast coming out as well. As Gen.G are looking for more. Hope down. Shanks and Flandre trying to retreat, but the Hexag Ultimatum will lock them up. There's the Blade Caller to follow up, and Shanks is dead. Flandre tries to jump the wall, and just as I was saying, it would be so good for anyone's Legends. Gen.G
life that they were able to breathe into Tarzan, who looked like he was dead on arrival, right? There was the shield, there was the disengage from Gragas. They still kept him alive for a good amount of time. Is Hope!
Lands the hook onto Hope, and Hope almost gets out. Canyon able to take him down in the end, and now AO need to retreat. The Impel comes in, but there's a Realm Warp behind them as well. Tarzan and Shanks in the middle of 5. They'll get Canyon, but Shanks will fall next. Tarzan looking for Juro. Juro just walks away from them. Gen.G.
This game thus far, Gen.G has been bringing the fight to them as Flandre almost has his TP available. But the Drake is already gone. It's just the first dragon. So I think AL now and then play from there. But you can't just try and play a normal 5v5, particularly not with this Blitzcrank being on the prowl.
Kyle has a flank though onto Ruler, the cleanse away immediately. Juro still looking for more here as the TP comes in. Kyle has to flash away. Glacial Prison doesn't connect. Counter TP. Tarzan only with the Impale on 1, and now Keen is there. Hexag Ultimatum is going to take him onto the tower. The Stand United enough to shield up Tarzan for now. The shutdown comes over to Hope as the chase continues. Shanks joins the fight, and he's spitting out Venom. He finds the shutdown. Ruler the flash away. The Blade Caller, but the pull in from Juro's not enough. Shanks has found poison, and Gen.G will suffer. Tarzan chasing further forward. Double twin fangs. AL roar into life.
But the Sedge ult misses. Tarzan gets the suppress, and then just watch Shanks as he goes through.
Game 3 with how quickly they were being taken.
Gone.
It's gone.
Yeah, anyone's Legends deciding not to fight it. They have the Rift Herald, that's going to charge in. Feats will go over to Gen.G. Rift Herald will take the tower, Realm Warp in by Gen.G, but couldn't get there quickly enough to defend. I think that will be all.
The support of Duro here, able to take down this tier 1. Really nice from Gen.G. They're going to be able to get vision on this top side. right? It's just their
gonna be able to walk
accelerated
away.
side lane pressure.
It's a good little vision pocket play there from anyone's legend. Trying to play around it. The hook's going to land onto Kyle. He's going to taunt his way away, but the Glacial Prison's still going to hit. Kyle able to survive. As Gen.G TP'd in Keen, but couldn't find much more. Kyle can now back, has to stand united as well to rejoin a fight. Drake up in 30 seconds time.
Both top laners using their TPs there, so even trade. Kyle does have to use 2 of his, as now Gen.G can turn that into Pry on this dragon. They do have the possibility for a soul point with an Ocean Soul. So much extra sustain in the fights.
Just such a vision control game for Gen.G now as well. You can see no vision at all for anyone's legends down in this bot side river, which means as soon as Duro steps into this bush, AL have to be cautious. Only the tanks can frontline. Kyle as well does have that flash back up, has also taken Smite off the unsealed spellbook. Ruler's going to start up the dragon. It's a 9,000, 7,000, 5,000 with the Blade Caller. AL needs to get in here. Sharpish, explosive cast coming out. Kyle stepping forward with the Smite, but it's Canyon that secures it. Kyle's going to dash away. Chobi looking for that backline. Onto Tarzan, there's the permafrost follow-up, and Ruler takes the kill. Gen.G begin to turn and burn, but they get hit with a rocket. Shanks and Hope step forward onto Keen. Canyon on the backline. Hope turning it around onto Sejuani. A hook onto Shanks, though, as he's rooted up and shut down. The Hexagol made him enough to kill him off. Flandre now caught out with the permafrost. Kaio's going to die to Keen, and Gen.G have found the fight. They follow it up for a clean ace.
And Gen.G, a topside fight in the jungle now, but a distant memory as another team fight is won. The dragon goes their way, and Otacon sure to follow.
And I love how they set that up. Again, pushing out that bot wave with the Camille, starting up the Drake, forcing AL to come into them, and then this hook coming out from Duro onto Tarzan was massive.
And there's no impale, otherwise that can be straight up a game-losing play, but without that ultimate available,
He knew something was going on. Tarzan's going for the chase here, though. Underneath the tower, Tarzan's going to tank it up. There's the Miasma into the Petrifying Gaze, into the Impale. Hexagol made him from Keen, into the flash. Oh, he missed the wall. He maybe would have escaped. But the hookshot wall dive just short.
But then
that AO invested. No Shanks ult, no Tarzan ult, no Kyle ult. As they start the object, it's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
They
Ruler is
can't get
so
it.
strong. 3 items already complete. Obviously, Chobi there as well. Rise at 2 items is just going to rip through a Baron.
Gen.G can pretty much set up the map however they want. They have such strong split pushers in this composition, and it just
He's in
makes
the mid lane.
Canyon stepping forward. Kyle looking for it. Ruler, though, so safe, so far away. So hard to collapse on. Keen continues to push through top. Does have that teleport. It's recalling now. Andre looking for a flank. No vision here for Gen.G. Now places a control ward in the tri-bush. Hope not really that strong, so his poke isn't really going to stick. TP comes in from Keen. As he looks for a flank of his own, has the GA, the hook connects again! And Chobi makes AL take a pew! Church is in session here for Gen.G. Keen on the backline, Flandre dead. Keen, you can't even pop his GA! The Angels are on the side of Gen.G. They get the triple, they get the ace, and they're looking to make it 21 series in a row.
beautifully done from Gen.G. The picture-perfect execution of this composition. They are barreling down bot side for the end to move on at this MSI.
Nerves of steel for Gen.G in the final game. As Keen, yet another insane performance in this final one. As Gen.G take down AL.
What a performance from Gen.G.
This was such a fun match.
my
Like,
It was
oh my
so
gosh.
good.
I have had a blast. This is, again, the top team from LCK, the top team from LPL. It was back and forth. I think we saw the strengths and weaknesses of both teams. Gen.G coming out on top with a stellar Game 5 performance.
The resilience of both teams, the creativity in drafts. Any other team in the tournament watching these two fight it out, you're gonna have to be scary. And that man on your screen right there, Shanks, absolutely stellar performance here today.
all round, I think everyone had a good game and a couple of bad games here and there, but overall, highest quality league we have seen so far here at MSI. I feel sorry for the lower bracket, I'm going to be honest. AL play up against the winner of MKOI and CFO, which is going to be a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah, and I'm so happy with what we saw from both.
2023 playoffs when T1 started their run towards Worlds.
Look.
KT was there, unfortunately. It was this 2v2 that started, I think, the ascent to greatness.
We saw the Jin coming in, Mal. This bot side, this prio is actually going to give owner free license to grab that first Drake for T1. And I actually want to talk about T1's
play from Gen.G, gonna fizzle out for now. Gen.G has been able to build a big lead in the mid lane here, though, with Faker having to respect the pressure that has come through. That's the real Canyon.
Canyon forced to flash away, stun landing, immediate fall coming in from Carrier. Owner and Carrier working together beautifully. Canyon might just cut down by base damage. Faker now trying to follow, but they don't quite have enough burst.
That stun that Chovy landed onto Faker to keep him out of that was huge, and kind of the only reason that Gen.G weren't, the Canyon kind of didn't die, right?
Oh, Gen.G though used a lot of cooldowns. They still want to look for the contest here. T1, are they ready?
Gen.G, Guma ready to pull the feathers back. Maybe happy to just take one grub, try to deny all three. Magic so far, good pushback. Only man can find the clone, and now it's first blood coming through. Keen there in the nick of time, and the needles are starting to fly. T1 packing things up, trying to get out now. Last grub, they aren't even worried about it. Carry and owner on the way out. Guma trying to hold on, but the Void grubs are down, and in the end, it's 2.
In 30 seconds.
And I think the scary thing here is we've seen T1 prioritize Drakes, as you mentioned, Emily, and so often it's worked out. But often Gen.G with the gold lead is a more terrifying threat, though. Keen now locked up, cut down on the way out, and the TP's too late. Chovy found a little bit of CC, maybe he can burn down owner, but they want to turn this one back. 3 looking for the 4 stack, but instead finds a kill in return.
Chovy's able to get the return kill, but there you see,
Stun, flash, okay!
It's probably about time to mention. But then steps too far forward, and Doran's just able to take advantage.
And Chovy, of all people, should know, having played with Doran for a good amount.
He is able to get something back, but a little overconfident. We're not going to get to see the rest of the replay because Chovy's been locked up once again. All of T1 descend upon mid lane.
So yeah, they're punching back really well.
Oh, Doran, he goes in.
Needlework used. Duro on the way. Doran counter trying to get a bit of damage back, but he should just fall here. Should be an easy kill pickup. Starting to retreat now. Will finally get cut down through the ultimate. A nice side lane pick for Gen.G. Pick on side lane. Chovy maybe feels like he's secure because he knows that objective would normally be the priority, but he's going to find out very quickly that he's not alone. How is he going to try to outplay this one? Baron to lock up Faker, try to mitigate some of that damage, but there's just nowhere you could go! The Annie does not have the tools to escape! Does the 3-man dive, works out for T1.
And that's first turret to T1, as Gen.G will be able to take down this Herald, as that should give them feats, but it's T1.
Chovy not expecting that many resources being paid towards him as Keen.
Push back onto Keen. Carrier on the way in. Exhaust coming into Rakan. The charm, the layered CC, nearly flawless. Keen trying to heal back. Keen trying to make the difference. Doesn't quite have it. Faker.
Canyon.
Contest this is Ruler. Quick ulti in the mid lane. Gets the cleanse. Now can wander down to the Drake, but T1 taking their time. Likely to concede this. Don't want to give up a Drake for free, but really don't have the resources on the map. And in the meantime, it is still Carrier and Faker pushing down on the top side.
And what we see here is textbook T1, right? Just overloading on these sides. First is the pick onto Chovy, then it's a topside play, baiting and TP. It looks like Doran is overextending. He's fine anyway. Might have to be careful here as we do have Duro on the deep flank.
Pick is Carrier. Now realizes he spot Duro. Quick bit of lockup trying to protect Faker. Faker needs to get it out of there. Carrier going to use the ulti to try and hold on. Duro trying to find it. Chovy looking for a bit of fall, but Faker still standing for now. Owner ready to body block the shots. Faker still living, but in comes Keen. Gen.G on the bottom side have found a man out of place, and they're looking to find quick kills. Making it look effortless, but it's Doran now. Herald used it, might just have to be the escape path. Doran locked up and shut down. The 4th shot finds his mark and out.
So we need to revoke Canyon's driver's license after that one. But yeah, that was so...
Walking in, Faker, Doran looking for the flank, multi-pronged fights, you mentioned it before. Looks like we might just flip it, 3.9k instead. Gen.G collapsing on the flanker, but now it's T1 going all in onto Keen. Keen, Doro looking for the counter gauge, a nice interrupt to stop him from getting into the midst of the entire lineup. Carrier barely holding it alive, and they get the Otacon! Guma steals it! That's Faker, now on the retreat. Gen.G hungry for blood, they need to get kills back, they can't afford to give this away for free. Keen will get Faker, but at the cost of the Otacon.
Should be able to get Doran in this turret as well. Gen.G trying to snowball as much as they can.
Taking another kill. there's not much to transition it to. A top lane tower maybe, but that's infuriating for Gen.G. They got the kills, they just couldn't get the objective.
Yeah,
Unless they want to risk the fight walking into Fog of War. Faker would much prefer to have that set up first. You can see Owner not afraid to eat a bit of damage as Canyon goes forward, but Owner, quick interrupt on the Archie Assault may just give his life. The burst from Gen.G is too much.
Tank damage, but with both a Wukong, Bloodletters on Chovy, as well as a Gwen, even Owner, the tankiest member, I think, on the Rift, is just going to go down in seconds.
Kane playing on the edge there a little bit, testing Doran, see if we can find a bit more of an advantage as Doro waits behind. Be a bit tankier. You are very squishy. The upside is, in the fights to come, as we keep our eye on Carrier, Ruler pushed back! Caught out, T1 ready to go through, in the Ruler spot, essentially!
It's the Ruler moment.
Confidence, knowing how much burst damage they can lay down if needed. T1 forced to respond, it's only Faker providing them a pressure. Definitely a strong point. Ruler tries to find a route. T1 looking to get aggressive as Carrier manages to catch out Chovy. Quick 1-2 punch. Chovy flashing, gets the bear down. Sprinting as fast as little leg should go, but it's Owner to finish the job. Now Keen looking to follow up. Doro looking to find a 3-man knockup. And in goes the Gwen, trying to snip away through the T1 mid laner. Carrier catching, trying to defend. It's just not enough. They're too powerful. Doran, though, looking to take down Ruler. He knows he has no flash. He wants desperately to finish the job. They're too forward. The leap strike. Doro can't find the route. It's a mess across the fight, but it looks like Keen should just be able to chase this one down. Doran taking his time, ward over the wall, quick hop to safety. Multiple members lost on both sides. 2 down for the side of Gen.G, 3 down for the side of T1. Guma needs to make the difference. 3 items on this carry, but it's Duro and Canyon on the chase. Feathers go up, they'll pull back, he can't find the angle, and down goes Guma.
Oh, Canyon's here.
Willing to flip it, willing to bet it. Canyon stepping up, T1 now retreating. Is this just going to be a massive leash? Gen.G.
They found Faker.
No reason to take the risk, and now it's Faker who has been caught out, wants to slide back, but there's Ruler waiting, looking for the finish, the kill. Faker gonna go down. T1 over eager, too comfortable in the idea.
Looks a lot different.
Carrier has smite and is waiting around the pit.
Oh.
He's 3K, he's wandering in, he's looking for the miracle steal. Junglers are hating some of their spellbook right now, but Gen.G have the discipline. They don't know.
Started again. TP used. All sums basically available here. Gen.G.
Chovy, CC onto Doran, instant combo. There's nothing he could do about it, but he goes golden. He buys an extra moment, and it's Guma and Faker on the backline for now, uncontested, trying to fire back. But the objective in the sights of Gen.G, keeping the pressure there.
There he has smite.
That he does. As does Owner, and they're trying to lock him out of the pit. Canyon, nice backstep with the clone. The chunks onto both clones, massive, but not the real champions. Gen.G poking.
Using the mountain shield.
Yeah.
Just waiting for it to regen.
Chovy on the flank. Ruler trying to find the angle. Bit of CC down on the Faker. The flash forward. He goes golden. Can they try to turn this one back? A multi-man push into the waiting arms of Guma. Guma free firing, but Chovy flashes forward. Finds the CC. Quick QSS. Ulti out. The fight is so damn close. Ruler, one more bullet. Into the ulti. And it might just be curtains for T1 because Gen.G. What a fight. The quadra for Ruler.
Ruler quadra kill cleans up a fight that was so close. At Baron, they'll be able to take down this mid-tier 2, and I think they might try to push to end here.
Lore accurate Jin right there. Ruler with the quadra. Look at that damage. This man was one of the weak spots on this team coming into MSI. He was the one, together with Duro, that was most criticized, but his Jin performance this tournament has been insane.
Incredible stuff from Gen.G. They got the advantage. They gave T1 no quarter, no angle, no way of attack back into that one as they take game 1 with confidence.
A fantastic setup from Gen.G, from a team that knows this T1 team so well, right? They set up their side waves. They have the Mountain Soul. They're like, we know you need to come into us to get this Baron and then end up getting the pick they need.
And somewhat of a reversal in mid lane, where it was actually, I think, Faker did a really good job in the early game, both solid in lane, but when it comes to the impact, even though it felt like a lot of fights were Chovy getting caught, he still was able to deliver that CC that the rest of his team followed up on.
And in the end, the wins, all that matters, and Gen.G are the ones to take it. Let's send it over to the analyst desk to break down game 1.
Thank you very much. We always have the question if it will be more reminiscent of the domestic or the international matchup between T1 and Gen.G. And this time in game 1, it goes firmly in Gen.G's favor. That feeling you have that they know that they're not going to be caught off guard, that they can see a little bit what T1's game plan is all along.
Yeah, they're playing it pretty safe as they have their lead, as they should, but they just had control for the vast majority of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. But the early stages, I think, were pretty darn good for T1.
Or within the current meta, as long as you get an AD carry that has a way out of a Cataclysm and out of an Ornal, that's really all you're looking for, right? Even being able to not have to deal with the culling is a big win for Ruler here.
Yeah, and I think that's why they kind of wanted to wait to see the full composition, right? But Ezreal...
Always good to celebrate when a player has this much tenure, but might be celebrating something else here on the bottom side as Doro's already going to be locked up, but Canyon's going in mid lane. That's the flash out from Faker, and he still finds the knock back into the wall. Faker cut down!
Cryo, they're getting it off that bot lane.
Yep. Talked about the history of the matchup as well. You can see Chovy relatively favored, but it might not matter in the face of this fight as Chovy's going to get locked up and cut down. Guma and Faker finding the kill. Owner with the setup, and now it's Canyon in trouble. The Skarner was good early, but he hasn't been able to get anything else. Carry is still standing. Multiple members marked up. Concussive blows! Everybody's getting knocked out! Instant feat of warfare for T1, but they're not done. Doran on the top side. Bonks him with the hammer, taking his sweet time, fishing for the knock-up. But he's not going to finish the job. Ruler.
Really start roasting people as you'd want from an early rumble.
Canyon, nice sidestep. May try to go through the wall here, but Keen is on the way down, so he might be happier about this fight than expected. Canyon not feeling the beat at all as Keen manages to find the kill onto Faker. Canyon still manages to get out. The flash over the wall. They're absolutely bamboozled. Canyon needs a little bit more shielding. Doro! Are you kidding me? The slimmest margins. Canyon shouldn't be alive, and he's still going. Q forward, shattering strike, buying a bit more time. Oh, the flame spitter, it just keeps coming. Canyon lives.
It's a jungle.
Good cop, bad cop, you know?
I gotta make sure, you know, it can't just let T1 get away with it and help her. We have seen even in backstage really big for the Gen.G mentor, and really every single clip. That's just how he is. Even
really has enough sustained damage outside of the Rumble to win out in these fights, although Canyon getting picked off, manages to snag 2, and Ruler's here. Free firing is the Ezreal. Guma unfazed. Carry and now retreating, likely just to fall here. They'll get 1. Ruler happy to have the kill.
And that's the playmaking Skarner we've come to expect from Canyon. That's why he is so dangerous on this champion, and Guma might be in trouble.
Owner spotted.
Dashing through, Mystic shot sidestepped. TP on the way down, Owner on the way in. Flash out from Guma is good. Shattering strike still hits, and down he goes. Owner's finally here. One kicking things off. Gen.G not in a great spot. Do have the necessary vision to try and contest. Ruler off on the side seems to be the target. Duro locked up, flicked back, doesn't have the chance to do anything. Excellent block on the ulti coming in from Ruler. Solid pick to start the fight for T1, and now Gen.G, they're starting to reconsider.
You kind of set that up, Dracos, with the pick potential, right? The Braum to Leah combo coming in clutch for T1.
Look at that TP.
Canyon.
Doran's on his way.
Ruler's still standing. 1500, it's going to be the flip. Chovy potentially locked up by the ramp. Locked down in the pit. T1 already found one. They're looking for another. Chovy off on the side. As T1 descend, and Keen trying to make the difference. The Realm Warp not coming out in time, and Keen cut down!
Then Gen.G is just walking into a big multi-man engage from Duro and from Canyon. That could be enough to turn the fight as the TP comes in.
TP from Gen.G, immediate response coming in from Doran. Chovy now trying to Realm Warp out. He wants nothing to do with that fight. Lockup goes there onto Duro. Faker looking to follow. Goes over the wall, but he's all on his lonesome on this side. Doran quick to follow up as well. Colin coming out. Guma knocking him down. Canyon needs to get out. He'll find the retreat, but it's T1 who are first on pulling the trigger. T1 finding the angle of attack. Chovy, Ruler still standing. Double threats. Canyon there to potentially steal, but it looks like the objective is already gone. Down goes the Herald. Retreat out from Duro. 4 members standing on the side of Gen.G, but T1 looking to run him down. Ruler caught. Knock up now connecting. Doran running out of health. The turn back coming in. Canyon, damn clutch. Chovy needs the damage to finish the job, though, and he doesn't have it. Charging through is the Herald into the mid lane, and T1 get the fight.
And Gen.G didn't have the damage there, even though they were able to get off a beautiful CC combination from Duro. And
on the side, contesting a bit of vision. Making sure Gen.G feel threatened. But T1 not hesitating to risk the flip.
Faker wall.
Canyon, they don't see him. Faker wall the zone off. Equalizer to start things off, keeping them in the fight. Canyon going over, but who's going to get it in the end? Eyes on the Drake, but Faker laying down so much damage to the Drake might not even matter. Guma continuing to free fire. Uncontested his door, just barely makes it out. No, he will get cut down. Canyon finds a good ulti, but Chovy zone from the fight. The Rise doesn't have the range, but T1 sure as hell have the damage. Another fight in their favor.
Canyon still in the area. Might look for a possible steal. Desperation play from the Skarner. He's not seen.
2.5K. Getting lower. Not spotted.
Doesn't know.
Doesn't know. Goes in, goes right back out. But now the chase. Hex gate. T1 want a little bit more. Canyon running. Flick back, flash.
T1 in control of the tempo.
Definitely not. And one thing that I will say. Guma looking powerful, but may have been picked off. Carrier here to body block and try to cover. Guma sidestepping as best he can, but they're moving their way around the Unbreakable. Down goes the Equalizer, and Guma cut out of the fight. Ezreal ulti from Ruler is good. The fight's still coming through for Gen.G. They found the angle, and they're taking it. Quick double for Ruler.
We talked about Ruler being taken out of the last fight.
Knows that they are not out of this game yet as Otacon has been started up.
Doran trying to get in, ready to blow the horn if he has to. Owner, it's so hard to deny him access to the pit. Doran getting chunked out, still 5K, they can't really afford. Instead, they're turning. Gen.G collapsing on the flanker of Doran, but here comes Faker laying down the wall. All D leverage. Only one member gonna get knocked out. They want to burn through Chovy. 4K on the objective. They're not gonna be able to finish it, but now the fight breaking out. Carrier trying to find the angle. Gumi usually throwing down the calling, and all of Gen.G is starting to fall. Chovy and Keen on the run. They can burn whoever they want, but it's not enough to take the fight. Doran unfazed. Carrier stepping up. Faker to follow through and bring it home. 7K on the Otacon, but it belongs to T1.
The T1 not going to let a single pick stop them from doing what they love, which is fist fighting to the death. As the crowd goes crazy, Otacon goes the way of T1, and the odds of this series going to 1-1 are looking good right now.
And the crowd deafening, there's no way, there's no amount of white. Carry off on the side, it's Keen! Caught off once again, he buys an extra second, but it just does not matter. Down goes the Rumble, the Equalizer decent, but the follow-up is just not there. Carrier body blocking, keeping Chovy out of the fight single-handedly. He's gonna be able to realm warp to safety, but Canyon with the pullback, can it be the face that turns? Faker stunned, not able to find the follow-up, but the flick back into Chovy, it's good! T1! Find the angles, find the fight, find the pick, and just keep the ball rolling. Gen.G shell-shocked as T1 break into the mid lane.
It's a layered engage from T1. 1 into 2 into 3. Doran followed up by Faker.
They're in such a good position, and that was such a beautiful Drake setup. Gen.G had no choice.
Keen needs to be on top of people. He doesn't really have a choice, right? He needs to do damage. He needs to actually get value from his kid. But the moment you get even remotely close, you are an immobile carry. Ornn can just, with any of his CC, any of his knockup, especially with the follow-up that's there, between Braum passive, between Talia flick, between Owner following up, it's so easy to just find a target, an immobile. TP from Doran is coming in, but the Baron is going down.
Meantime, Doran buying a bit more space. They're not in a position to contest. They can't even get Doran as well. Now the horn has been blown, and it might be Keen who's been caught out. Doran trying to find the disengagement. In the meantime, it's Keen getting cut down where he stands. Does not have time to go golden. It does not matter as Faker's on a rampage. And T1 are out for blood.
Doran is but the jester. He's distracting them, TPing in their midst as Gen.G see the objective taken by T1. And now what surely will be the final push of this game too.
T1 pushing through, tearing Gen.G apart in these fights. Gen.G had that first kill, but kept giving these angles back to T1. Owner getting aggressive onto Chovy. Chovy no way out. Carrier ready to follow up. He has to go back under the tier 3 tower. Good sidestep keeps him standing. T1 maybe forced back for a moment, but as you highlight, Emily, Faker is here. And the Hextech soul that poke only continuing to add up. Ruler trying to get some push, but Carrier ready. Uses the Unbreakable. Gen.G.
Oh. The damage. It's T1.
Lock up there, flick back onto Canyon, manages to find a few members, but again, Gen.G running, sent packing. Gen.G, when they had the lead, they choked T1 out, but T1 backbreakers in this game as Guma finds the double, looking for a few more kills, looking to tie up the series. Gen.G, whatever dominance they had domestically, it's a different story on the international stage. T1 won't go quietly, and Gen.G sent packing here in game 2.
I love the way we saw how both of these teams choke out their opponents. As we see T1 cleaning up the Nexus. Unlike Gen.G, who kind of slow things down, they're like, we're gonna force you to come to us. You're gonna have to make terrible decisions. T1 are like, you have to make terrible decisions, and we are going to punch you in the face.
And Doran in particular, that Ornn game, crazy.
Incredible stuff. Let's go back over to the analysts to talk about that crazy turn from T1.
Thank you so much. Wow, kind of like a mirror from the first game, but this time it was T1, and in that, another milestone hit for Faker. 1,000 kills he has. Internationally. That is insane.
That is more than so many amazing players have in their entire career. The GOAT is just different.
Oh man, he can throw some rocks too. Okay, let's talk about this game then, because T1 obviously on the back foot. Then Azael, I was talking to you about kind of, it's kind of a gamble that they're going for here. They really need to get the damage.
Mao.
He wouldn't. There we go.
The
timer's up. Is it actually up? It's Bard.
It's
Okay.
Bard.
That's still hype.
Bard
Everything is
super
hype. Okay. Oh.
What a roller coaster.
Try and flip it. Faker looking to zone him away. Canyon would have to commit the flash.
Yeah, no. They can't. And
Tools to go wherever they want to punish individual members, but if T1 keep grouping, there's really no angle of attack.
there's no angle of attack, and it's
Oh,
just
here we
another.
go.
Oh,
Walk up there. Punt back into
Whoa.
the tower. Tower turned off. Guma caught out, stunned. He'll be able to run out thanks to the Bardal. It's a little bit awkward, but Doran waiting over the wall. Now the bomb coming in for Canyon.
yeah, he's going to be able to take that. Meanwhile, Canyon is on this Drake on the bot side. Doran is going to kind of scout that out, but not really going to be able to do anything to contest. So good from Gen.G to recognize, again, this is a on this Drake if they want to.
Also, Keria, despite the capacity to take Smite, is still very bad at finishing objectives. From ulti from Keria also has the potential to be big. No cleanse, but there's a barrier for Ruler. T1 have opted out. They are not interested. There will be no blood today.
I take back my earlier
Calm
statement.
down.
That's
Take
my
a
bad.
breath, Vancouver.
That's my
Calm
bad.
down.
There will be blood against the Drake, and I don't know, turrets can't really bleed.
They
But
can't
Doran's
really.
going to get some nice damage on this top
That
tier
he
one,
is,
right?
that
They
he is.
can crumble.
Yeah, exactly.
think
He's
top
gonna,
lane's gonna-
he's
there you
gonna
go.
get first
Yeah,
turn
tower.
for T1.
5. It's below
They
average.
put up the
5.
team fight UI as
Wait,
a
Guma over the
optimistic.
wall.
Blue buff? No.
Blue buff there. Chovy looking for the engage. Carry ready to disrupt if he can, but they may have just been able to find the pick. That's a two-man, but the ulti's already coming over for Guma. Faker ready to get in the midst. Double flash out. They're going to fire that first bubble. Who's going to get it there? Because Doran's still alive. Down he goes. Chovy gets the first blood.
Mayhem for a blue buff. Not what
Dante coming through. The big thing is the MF ult doesn't actually reach to do all that much damage.
Mountain Soul or Mountain Drake value is so high for Gen.G.
It is.
And again, none of that poke sticking. You can see Ruler just keeping Chovy topped up. Nice
Elixir of
back
Iron
step.
used by Doran.
Ready for the fight. T1 know how important this is. They're willing to give 500 gold in the back pocket of Doran. Just have that extra little bit of power in the fight. Trying to take control. Careful about walking into the choke point. Eyes on Guma and the ulti here. Excellent interrupt from Keria to stop Chovy from getting that taunted, and now they're stepping forward. Ulti, fantastic follow, and now there's going to be no way out for Ruler. He doesn't have anything left. There's just enough shielding to keep him standing. Ruler lives, and now the fight breaks out. Keen in the midst of the entire team. The Cassante ready to pop off. Guma can't get any damage down, and Gen.G weather the storm of T1. Ruler stays standing, and Faker and Guma are not enough to turn the fight back. They keep most of their members, but they'll lose the Drake.
Despite a great ultimate with no flash available there, as
Hold that thought. They found another.
It's just the Canyon ult.
Yeah.
He's not ready for it. That's
The Pantheon Galio combo.
I hate that that was Fent. That's mid lane turret, third turret of the game, by the way. Finally falling here, and Gen.G. They're
Advantages, but also it's T1, so maybe instead they're willing to bet it all on this Otacon. TP coming in from Keen. Ulti from Keria. The combo potential, what we have to keep our eye on. But Keen doesn't want to give them the space to set up. Doran trying to respond. Flash out of the gravity field. Keria going back over the wall. Canyon trying to zone away as best he can as Doran gets that health bar chunked. But not too much effective damage yet. And again, it could be Ruler just continuing to heal, continuing to top up Gen.G in the extended fight. It looks like it might be the 50-50. Guma waiting over the wall, but Chovy there, ready to deny the MF ultimate. Owner in the midst of the pit. Canyon locked up, but T1 don't have the first damage objective. Yes, they do! It's Otacon down! A beautiful ult! Keria and Owner together securing the objective. Faker trying to make his way out. They got what they came for. He'll give his life, but will it cost them the Baron?
And it might not even be Baron. Look at the timer on Dragon. That was such a long stall. So Gen.G looks like they're going to go for the Baron instead, but maybe can turn this even into a soul as well.
Well, you see T1 are already heading over there, right? Keria is already heading over to the Drake pit. Keen is kind of following, shadowing Owner down.
It's two global ults. They can make their way over in a second.
Ready to go. Baron down for the side of Gen.G. Next fight.
There we go.
And they go.
Doro ready for the follow-up. Keria trying to go in. Ulti coming in for Guma, though! He lines him up and he tries to knock him down, but in goes Canyon right in the nick of time! Descending from the skies, denying T1.
Canyon immediately recognizing that he needs to draw.
Owner being able to secure the smite. The stalling from Gen.G was the big factor there. The fact that Senna kept them top, and that even though the objective...
The backline access coming out from this Galio Pantheon combo in tandem with the Cassante.
We'll let cooler heads prevail as they just continue the siege on tier 2s, and this is where it gets difficult. I think just 5 minutes ago, Chronicler, you mentioned the ability for Ruler to siege solo, but now has the entire team there to back him up. Only 50 seconds left on the Baron, so just this wave and the next, but T1 need to hold on. Lockdown onto Keen, exhaust there, he's unstoppable, just a use of the Pathmaker. Decent damage, but again, the ulti over the top from Ruler.
They just don't have the damage. Even getting for the Mountain Shield alone took them a bunch of cooldowns.
Canyon goes in, quick ulti out, and now the response coming in. Good damage, follow-up, Keen, knocked up! Owner finds the angle, ulti over the top coming in from Faker. Ulti not going to connect from carry, but it might not matter. Chovy trying to keep this one going, though. Massive damage going in for the Galio. Canyon living for an extra moment, but Owner finds another in the clutch. Chovy going back in for Guma, though, and Ruler's still alive. The Senna's still alive. T1 need to take down Ruler, but they're out of cooldowns. They're out of damage, and they're out of hope in this game 3.
Faker barely living on the back half of that, but you're absolutely right, Dracos. It's Ruler. He is the main carry that you need to take out. Oh, Chovy is gonna clear out that ward, doesn't end up finding Faker.
He doesn't know, doesn't actually get it. Gen.G, I think.
Of these carries, when they are able to actually get any sort of access.
Over the wall. Again, don't want to give them the chance to breathe. Canyon stepping through as they can. As long as that inhibitor doesn't fall, they're in an okay spot to potentially contest the next objective. Owner trading blows, tries to make his way out of the taunt. Duro on the way into the mid lane. Finds the lockup, and Owner in trouble now. Forced to flash back into safety. Keen immediately into the back line. Gumayushi has a decent angle to get things kicked off, but it might not matter. Keen doing so much work. 2v1 against the T1 carries. Doran dies in the blink of an eye, and Gen.G go for the throat.
And that's the exact backline access we were talking about with this composition. This should be the backbreaker. This should be game. After this, Gen.G are going to be on match point.
Slow, steady suffocation from Gen.G. A single fight is all they need to turn this game into not a lot of opportunities for T1. The T1 gonna have to watch their Nexus falls as Gen.G go up 2-1.
Locked up, knocked down. Gen.G slow, controlled, confident, move on to match point.
Love the little cheeky Samsung flash from Ruler at the Nexus. That was fun.
2017,
yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, we've talked a lot, we've shouted a lot. We spent some quiet time in the middle there. Let's
Quality
see what
time.
Yeah,
quality
we had a
quiet
great- we had a
time.
great
Let's see
time.
what the desk has to say about that game 3.
Well, we'll gladly take over for a bit. Immaculate job, of course, and from Gen.G, the same. Fantastic control once they did get it firmly. I feel like, I don't know, with 30 stacks, Ruler does more than I do in any game ever. Like, I think we're often when Senna's in a game, you are so hyper-focused on how important that is for the power spike of that team, but Gen.G didn't really care.
It's a force multiplier on the stack, so Ruler stats at 100.
Yeah, I mean, the juxtaposition between the last game was well above a kill a minute into this one that was just like, yeah, we're just not fighting you at all. It was pretty funny from T1's perspective. They're like, okay, first Dragon's for free. We had push from both bot lane and mid lane. Second and third Dragon, we're not touching you.
Yeah, I mean, these were just such different games. Keen gets on the Keen Sante, one of his signature picks, and he was looking good on it. He was known.
Could be a setup here.
Okay.
There is still flex potential. Obviously, this
Poppy
Poppy can go
topside into
towards the
Gragas.
top lane.
Top.
Are we gonna get Canyon?
Oh!
Canyon said.
There's the polar bear. He's not phased. We are though.
He's on phase. Of course we would be phased.
Doran beats Zeus. Myth started this. T1.
Chovy. Good damage, immediate flash out from Chovy, but a nice advantage to start. Charm to follow. Handshake back, and they go. Massive damage on the carry, and they get the kill. It's first blood for Ruler. Bot lane is doing. Chovy the one giving up more and more, and Duro and Canyon trying to make up for it. Nice handshake. Faker's here in a good position. Decent damage going through. Follow-up Shockwave only connecting onto one, and that's going to be big because it's Canyon into the backline trying to finish off Faker. Flash through! Ruler gets the job done. That's the initial ulti out. Bailout is there as well. Owner flashing to safety. He'll manage to survive. Ruler in the backline. Ruler shielded up and finding the kills. Gen.G. Canyon might be looking mid lane. Ulti over the wall. That's going to be the death mark. Faker trying to get tricky, trying to get his way out, but Canyon hits everything. Ulti follow. Trying to get something back onto Chovy. Owner still going forward. Doran on the way in. They're desperate to kill Chovy, but Chovy still manages to live for an extra moment. Bomba gets the job done. And T1 fire back.
Good counterpunch, but look at the top side.
Yeah, Kalista is going to get free push onto this turret. Both Ruler...
Want to try and not give Gen.G opportunity to just keep stacking these Drakes, but see if they can turn onto Keen.
Looking to find the angle onto Keen, hoping to find the knockback. Hits two members. An opportunity for Gen.G to go crazy, and Chovy immediately also get things kicked off. Dashing in. Shockwave hits two. Bomba back into the lineup. But Doro with the beautiful ultimate buys a few extra seconds. Ready now to go in. His owner pops the ulti. Darkness on the side of Gen.G. They know they... T1 happy to tie up the Drakes. An excellent fight in their favor.
And that's a massive punch in first. So if it is really, really close, it's going to be heavily dependent on bursting down those key targets.
Canyon seems to be the key target for now. Ulting to try to get away, but the Fear Tether still connects.
Such a good punish there because
they're also going to be able to reset this map with Gragas already kind of pushing into the RA and Faker going up to cover that topside wave.
Of the river, and particularly with an Ocean Rift, trying to regain control when you lost it as the Gen.G comp is very, very tough. Lot of really good flank angles for this Gragas, and that's now the second Drake going over to T1, and
Faker stone cold, just keeps walking.
And the rest of T1 also not phased. Doran is just pushing in topside, will be getting access. Carrier and Faker already making their way over, and T1 kind of doing to Gen.G what Gen.G did to them in game number 3, just slowly choking them out of the game.
Perhaps baiting the trap. T1 don't have perfect information. The ward doesn't spot far enough. Now Doran will see what's happening. Chovy waiting over the wall. Flash in from the Gragas, getting things ticked up. For now, Ruler on touch on the backside. Canyon already out of the fight. And keep your eyes on Ruler as he starts to run rampant. Throws Duro back into the mix of the entire exchange. Ruler ready to take over, but the knockback is huge! Ruler goes down, buys a couple extra seconds. They need to finish off Doran so he can live, and then manage to make it work. Gen.G holding on. 2 stacks up for Chovy. Retreat going in. Big damage from Guma as the big one finds its target. Keen off on the side, gets feared up, locked up. Owner finding the kill. The charm on the Faker is big, but it's not enough damage to finish the...
Chovy still can't find what he's looking for.
And Faker is going to be able to clean up this bot tier 1.
Ready to kick things off. That little ward, that sliver of health might be the difference. Canyon waiting over the wall. Duro needs a good ulti here. Shockwave into the midst of the team is a decent start to the fight. Duro managing to get the ult out. It's chaos in the pit. The shutdown onto Owner is crucial. AK on the Baron and it's dropping. T1 want to keep this fight going. They don't want to risk the 50-50. They shouldn't have to. 5K, eyes on the prize for Gen.G. It's a split call. Chovy starts to dive into the backline. 2K on the objective. Doran in the midst of everything. He can't get it done. In the end, the Baron goes to the side of Gen.G. They found their moment and they took it.
That looked so dicey for Gen.G. Initially, they're able to get Owner out, damage him enough that they could stay on that Baron. On it, Faker is going to be able to clear up this tier 1 in mid, but they're already TPing.
Shockwave there as well. Flash ability for Owner if he wants to go over the wall, but 50-50 doesn't seem a likely story with Kalista in the game. Instead, Gen.G take down the Drake. Get themselves to 2. T1 still at soul point, but they'll also knock down the mid lane tower, and this is where the Red Bull Baron expect to see, finding a way back, finding these fights, and it was little missteps that ended up costing them that game.
It's actually very beefy. Serpent's Fang for Canyon. Look at Chovy now also having his arm guard available. A flanking ward to come through here. Chovy behind him.
Chovy ready to go, looking for Faker. He goes golden, instantaneous reaction speed. Keen now gonna look for some form of disengage. The Poppy on the front lines. Excellent ulti coming in from Doro, but it doesn't do too much. Chovy ready to go over the wall one more time, but he's warded out this time. T1 are ready. Ulti for ulti, tried to flash in. Doro wants to make the difference, but it doesn't quite connect. And instantaneously, Canyon goes in, finds the follow-up damage. Chovy taking down Doran. T1 on the retreat. Gen.G still standing strong. Only Doran. No ulti, no flash.
Oh,
seems like they're just not worried.
Fast enough.
Baron also not afraid to frontline, knows.
Mirroring vision.
Chovy's going to show on this top wave.
Shirelia's popped. Chovy showing. Barrel sidestep. Keen goes in. Now Ruler's uncontested. Look at the damage coming out of this Kalista already. Owner forced to ultimate. Canyon on the way out, but he goes right back, and he brings him in. The combo only connects on one. Chovy on the side. Eyes on the Ari, but he's not able to find anything. One more dash, all that's left. Doran getting lower. Gumayushi still standing strong. Gen.G. Redemption bringing them back healthy. T1 hurt, but not out of it.
Close.
No one has died. Doran can TP in fresh.
Chovy the last dash out. Shockwave gone, ulti's gone across the board. The Poppy ult, Keen. Eyes on him, can he make the difference? 5K, objective getting lower. Ulti there, spell shield there, they can't get into the pit, they cannot find it. Keen continuing to walk up. Canyon secures it with the smite. Ruler knocked back for a moment and down goes Doran.
T1 still looking.
Faker does not want to give them the chance to back to reset.
Combo's almost available again.
Wants to keep the fight going. Gen.G. Ruler wants to push the wave on the side.
Canyon.
T1, if they bet wrong here with the wave already pushing, it could cost them the game.
Now Vision.
Canyon threatening. Shadows out. Now the ulti. But they take their time, they're waiting on the retreat. They saw the W used, they're gonna force the flash as well. Keen continues to go in. Big damage, Shockwave back, Keen! Over eager and shut down! T1 playing on the edge.
Is that this is most likely going to lead into them getting prio on this dragon. They're
Does not want to let anyone in from the side of T1, but the combo from the Nocturne Orianna will always be lethal. Ruler starting the objective. It won't be a 50-50 on the smite. It's going to take a miracle. Ocean, Drake, Ocean Soul secured, and now Chovy goes in. They manage to get the Zhonya's out immediately, and Oner's going to try to fire her back, but he can't get anything else done. Canyon posturing on the side, and T1 uncertain of where they can go, but Doran sees the angle clearly. Deathmark in, Shockwave! Flawlessly timed as Guma now gets the shutdown. Keen looking for the disengage. Ruler untouched as he starts to take over. Doran forced backwards by the hostile takeover. The pullback and the handshake is good, and Chovy now in trouble, but it does not matter. Guma going in, quick cleanse. Chovy going golden. Doro not in a great spot to follow up, and it's Ruler. It's Ruler versus the world, but T1 are not going to give him the angle. They group up. They stand strong. Doran going in. Doran not able to find it. It's Soul for the side of Gen.G, but T1 for now ahead in kills. They found 2. If they keep this fight going, they can put the pressure on. They can try to close it.
the health bars though. The healing from this Ocean Soul is so big.
TP back in.
TP in though.
Faker on the way. Keen needs to find a way out. Fear there. Knock back onto Keen. Right into the midst of the team, and now Doro and Ruler have to make all the difference, but Oner finds the reset. He's into the back line. It's him versus Ruler, but Ruler just takes it. They have to keep him running. They have to take him out of the equation. T1 should just finish it here. He's gliding. Flash. Pierce. He just continues to walk away. Marshall poised trying to style on them, but the GA denied. Taken away. He'll find no value, and it is T1 find their man.
Look at the death timers. 60 seconds on Ruler. Keen still down as well. Hefty one done the impossible.
Canyon. Vancouver
trying to go away.
Oh my gosh.
Vancouver hungry for more from
Chovy's
T1
up as well.
for game 5.
They just got to clear.
They have to keep pushing. The Ocean Soul will remain for Gen.G as long as they stay in this game. T1 a brief glimmer, a brief moment to take it.
They're gonna go.
Both top laners so crucial to their team's success, even if their scoreline not spectacular. The Poppy ult, the Gragas ult, the tools to kick things off. The charm, though, might make the difference. He's been caught out. Oner missed the entire team trying to ult out the safety. Faker knocked entirely out of the fight. Canyon wants to follow, but Doran is there with the body slam to deny him access.
Disengage is there. Chovy rather keeps looking for these plays, but now Prio on Baron for Gen.G, and the ultimate for Oner is gone.
Shockwave.
Yeah, that's huge. Shockwave is
from
still
Faker
up.
can be big. Taking his time, waiting for the angle as Gen.G just descend on the objective. They know they have the advantage if it comes down to it. Contempt for the weak, the passive for the Zed. The E from the Kalista should finish it. But instead is Keen picked off. Eyes on Faker again with the Shockwave. Gen.G desperate to burst through the objective. 6K, lower and lower. It should be impossible for Oner, but he might be able to make it happen. No, Gen.G get it, and Ruler's running rampant. Or they can't get to the backside. Ruler untouched. Double kill for T1. Objective down in Gen.G's favor, but again,
Doran.
the cost is too high. Guma stands tall, Doran on the chase. Chovy golden, but headed to silver, and it's the Quadra.
A quadra kill for Guma Yushi. This Corgi is massive. The hero of this is Doran. This Gragas has been instrumental in these T1 fights. He showed up in playoffs to get them here. He's showing up massively again in this game.
T1 will not be denied a game 5. Once more into the fray we go again.
Once more to 5 as Gen.G not able to win with the soul. T1 see that and say, who cares? We'll just kill you through it.
And what better way to hit the record 7 silver scrapes than with Gen.G and T1. Back to you over at the desk.
T1, some said they took a risk on Doran, but he paid them back tenfold. T1 are inevitable. We are in a game 5, despite there being not many chances for T1 to turn this game around, but they do it every single time.
It is just insane, T1. From the position that they're in, it is nothing else but magic. They're able to find these opportunities, find these windows to claw back a victory out of the jaws of defeat.
It's wild.
Enough.
Okay.
in terms of how they like to play,
Carrier
how
playing with
they
the
like to
crowd.
pressure their opponents. He's gonna walk it Pike. Yes!
Pike it is! We haven't seen a second of
This is
gameplay
so
yet,
good.
and this is already
I'm so excited.
a banger. So aggressive in the bottom lane.
And it's a big deal. Even if Carrier doesn't actually roam over, Chovy has to play a lot safer as Canyon. He's a level down.
Hit, Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike. The red buff is there too. Canyon trying to finish the objective to hope he get level 3 himself, but the autos are just not going to do much of anything. Owner determined to finish it. Heal going
Canyon's
in.
dead.
Canyon down for first blood. Aurora ult stolen.
Pike on the way as well. They can't contest this.
Okay, should just get taken out. Canyon might throw a cheeky spear, but it just won't matter. Drake over to the
Even
side.
if Canyon looks for something on the spot side, he is going to get spotted out by that ward on the
dive
invade.
Doran.
They have TK.
Split dives, 2 sides of the map. Owner ready with the setup. They want to go all in on this Renekton. Doran trying to style the exhaust already there. Ulting back through to get under the tower, but now he's face first with Canyon. Dash through his key. Looking for the cash out. And on the top side, the feed of warfare is claimed. A massive influx of gold.
Carrier goes down, but it does not matter. T1 wins on both sides of the map, and Owner's going to be able to clean up these grubs.
Doran doesn't have enough to use his flash. He's just chilling. He's vibing.
Half a level, and now Owner is potentially going to be looking for another dive.
Oh,
Keen.
Faker's on his way as well.
Trying to hold on. Dominus use. Q into the wall. Good combo. Keen can't push a single button.
Minutes in.
Well, again, that's what happens when you don't stick it in the Renekton lane. They don't have the prio. Canyon hasn't been able to make any plays on this Nidalee with either the Renekton or the Aurora in this attempt to kind of bridge the gap for this Jinx to even get into the game. It's cost them. Whoa.
He steals it!
The Jinx trying to stay relevant, but this mid lane turret sure to fall. And this is what Pike loves, right? And yes, the gold lead has, I think, been meaning.
Bot was pushing in. They have complete vision here. Ruler trying to steal it again. Doesn't get it this time. But that initial steal means that they don't have to contest, despite the fact that T1 have set the map so heavily in their
Drake
favor.
buys them extra time, buys them another few minutes, but I don't think it'll stop T1 from breaking this tower.
Yeah, and it's just so
Ulti
tough.
in, Ruler caught out. They know Tom Kench doesn't have the Devour, so they go all in on the play.
Just set up here by T1. But literally, again, because of that steal from Ruler, Gen.G can now opt out of this. I don't know if they will, based on the
Gen.G, good retreat, calm, collected. Trying to keep prio, using range advantage in mid. Owner, pull back onto Keen is good. But you can see how hard it is for T1 without an angle of attack to kick these fights off. All eyes on Doran. The Ambessa wants to keep things going. Quick flash out. Ruler still standing. Duro tries to get a sidestep, but it does not matter. Keen keeping things going. An exhaust onto the Ambessa. And it's Chovy! Chovy in the midst of the fight. Keeping it going as Keen wants to go forward. Guma off on the side, completely isolated. Eyes on the Dre, even though he might just be able to catch up. But it's the reset for Ruler. Ruler, 1.5 items. It does not matter. He's still managing to make it work. The zap there. Guma. 2v1, 3v1, 4v1, they continue to descend. Gen.G have found an angle of attack. T1.
Making sure that members of T1 were a bit separate. And the most important things are Chovy going in alongside the Kench for safety.
Gen.G has tempo. Owner spotted.
Doran's so far
Keen.
away. Are they willing to bet on the 50-50? Wait for the Sonic Wave to expire. Must be the call. Traps are there too. They've caught out Owner. Owner locked up the kickback, trying to retreat now as Canyon's already taken the objective. Rocket hits him! Another reset for Ruler! The double kill for Gen.G's 80 carry.
Oh my god, they can go for Nash!
Gen.G in the blink of an eye in a single fight in the mid lane, and now on the top side at Otacon have wrested control from T1, but T1 refused to go quietly, knocking down the tier 2. They want to try and break the base, desperate to get more. Baron falling for Gen.G. Inhib Tower falling for T1, but now it's T1 on the back foot. They need to survive this buff as Chovy just takes more gold on the top side.
Oh my gosh, what a back and forth game. Ruler's Jinx back in it. Gen.G, but Ruler is now ahead.
Wildly far ahead, despite the cash out for Guma. 480 stacks still, he can turn things back, but we know this is where Ruler really takes over the range.
And it was fights that brought T1 back to a game 5 from the deficit despite the soul in the previous game. It's gonna have to be fights, it's gonna have to be a crazy pick from Owner, but now the rest of Gen.G is online as well, right? 3 items on Chovy, Canyon sitting on 2, they can't just go for Ruler.
So many times in the clutch, T1 have made the impossible possible. They'll have to do it again because Gen.G are more powerful. Gen.G weathered the storm of T1's composition, and they're not looking to give them anything back now that they've taken hold.
And how clutch was that Drake steal from
Every single member of this T1 lineup is vulnerable, but Chovy himself is vulnerable as well. Initial lockdown is good. Hook to pull him back, but he hits into the wall. Follow-up now coming in. Chovy buying an extra second. The weirding as he tries to retreat. He will just have to give his life. Quick shutdown! Oh, and that gold lead looking a hell of a lot closer after that cash-in.
That cash in, but then you see Gen.G immediately responding. They still have Baron
Rocket.
buff
Cancel
minions.
resets.
Oh!
Baker! Oh! Ah! Oh, he tried. No, they can't afford to give him an angle.
Ruler. The cannon saves him.
Ulti in, managing to connect immediate exhaust. Duro's already used the ulti, and now Faker probably gonna try to look to follow up. Dorn on the retreat though, and Chovy firing back. Keen, the flash forward. Ruler now allowed to free fire, but they haven't found the reset yet. Guma so low, but he's still standing. Crucially, healing now coming in. Massive damage from the Draven, but Gen.G are on the chase. One reset for Ruler. May just end it here. Duro, the Q flash forward. Canyon chasing as well. Dorn splitting from the rest of his team for a hope at another shot, at another fight, because it's falling apart for T1.
Super minions are in the base. They're going up from that bot lane. T1 have to back to respond.
That's going to be, I was going to say a sole point, but it looks like Gen.G instead want to push from mid. One inhib is nice, two inhibs is actually debilitating. Makes it so much harder to get outside of your base.
Gen.G continuing to push up. T1, the last desperate stand.
Are they going to actually push the end? Dorn is 25 seconds.
Gen.G looking to close it. So much hope domestically, looking to make good as Carrier tries to find the fight, but it's Guma isolated on the side, looking to take down Ruler. One more auto, but doesn't quite have the damage. Ruler living in the clutch. Gen.G hold the line. Gen.G knock down T1 and advance to the finals.
And the main character of Gen.G, let there be no doubt, is that man on your screen. Right there. He came back after a lackluster year. And what a comeback it's been.
What an amazing moment for Ruler, getting that clutch Drake steal, coming back on one of his signature picks in the Jinx. Everyone was looking at him being like, I don't know, he's looked a little shaky in the road to MSI. He was the difference maker in this Game 5. Take a bow, Gen.G.
Incredible stuff. T1 always seem to find their form at the right time, always seem to have the trophy within their grasp, but in that Game 5, despite the promising start, they ended the game grasping at straws.
We got a Game 5. It was back and forth, but once that Dragon Steel came in, hope started, but I really didn't think that they were actually going to be able to do it, right? T1 had so much control, but it's, as Gen.G have so often done, they turtle up. And the opportunities just didn't seem to really come to fruition. If there is a 4K gold lead, I don't think Gen.G can take the fight in mid.
And that initial swap that I was being critical of actually does end up.
Laners, there's success opportunities there, but that Sejuani really is the go button for the team. Final pick of this first draft will be the Alistar here for Carrier to pair with the Jhin against that Lucian Braum bottom lane. Isaac trying to dive Doran, 52-35 in farm. Doran will be able to equalize some of that, but because Owner was drawn up to the top side to protect Doran.
Low for the young player joining Gen.G, but he has risen to incredible heights as the Grubs start off.
The Grubs once again could be the battlefield. Gen.G trying to make sure they're around here for maybe a smite. Carry with a Hex Flash over the wall, tries to go in for a little bit, but Unbreakable Will already required. Gen.G backing away for a moment. If Alistar's ulti falls, it's very difficult for him to continue participating in the fight. Chovy and Faker off to the side as Gen.G will move in. They will take control of the pit. They will secure the third Grub. A 2 in tow. Gen.G with a 4-man attempt, starting up the Drake already. Canyon's going to be the one to tank it. Duro and Chovy keeping a defensive position off to the side. Carrier steps forward, immediately popping the Unbreakable Will as Gumayusi wants to fire a deadly flourish over the wall. Carrier, half HP, Unbreakable Will down. Gen.G still with control over the objective. Owner ready to challenge. Gen.G still trying to maintain control here. Gumayusi off to the side. Can open up with a curtain call if he needs. Deadly flourish, not going to find a target. Weaver's wall looking to block him away. Beautiful engage coming out there from Faker Shockwave. The Ocean Drake goes over to Gen.G, but they've already lost a man. Support for support as Ruler's knocked down next. T1.
All the way
play down in the bottom lane. So T1, with the timing, with the control, will seize the neutral objective.
But notice, Gen.G is pushing on this bottom side. They're looking for first tower there, and they're just going to try to rush this down because they know if Herald is summoned, they'll likely lose a tower of their own, but they don't have another minion wave here, and T1 is going to try to rush for it. Both teams are really trying to defend this hard.
T1, they've got the positioning over the wall with Carry as well. Duro wanted to TP in, but the first turret already goes the way of T1, and the third kill will do the same. The Herald's ready to charge, and T1 is mowing them over. The turret, the kill, and the tier 2 to follow. It might have been a turret and bot for Gen.G, but T1 take everything in mid lane.
A misstep from Duro as he tries to defend the mid tier 1. If he can just slow T1 down, there's an opportunity, but now Chovy's making a play of his own.
Chovy wants to get something back here in the top side. Weaver's Wall fires out. Remember, there's no flash for the Gwen to try to get away. The unraveled Earth flies out, and Doran...
It's so much better for Gen.G. They were able to get the push out on bot. Faker has now regrouped with his team. Watch out for the Jarvan Orianna combo.
Okay, immediately, teleport gonna come in from Doran as Gen.G have the Dragon down to half HP. Carry and Owner looking to walk up, maybe make their entry into the fight as Chovy already has to flash defensively to try to get away from Doran. Now the Dragon down to 2,000. Carry is in the middle. It's stolen by Owner. T1 trying to make their entry into the fight now as Keen's already at half HP. T1 backing away. Owner gets the job done. T1 happy with it.
Yeah, T1 get the Dragon, and they're able to get out. It does cost Carry his flash, but it's a great smite there from Owner to secure it. Now, though, looking for a potential re-engage. Owner goes in!
They go in with a shockwave combo on top of the Jarvan, and now they've caught Canyon unaware. He gets away with 100 HP as T1 now trying to back away. Duro thinking about going over the wall. He wants to go in here with a flash, throws up Unbreakable. T1 scrambling, but there's no damage from Gen.G. Owner's ready to go back in, but he has to flash out after one. And it's another fight, this time for the Otacon. Gen.G putting some damage into it, but it's not
Doran has no
particularly
TP.
dying quick. There's no TP for the Gwen. T1 have to try and do something to stop this. Buy a little bit of time for Doran to arrive. Curtain call opens, but Duro's unbreakable. Chovy zoning everybody away here with the unraveled Earth. Owner wants to make his entry, but the Otacon is secured by Canyon. Gen.G have the objective, but what about the fight right after? Owner goes in, Chovy gets out, Owner goes down, Ruler goes off. Keen looking to zone Faker off the back as Doran makes his way into the fight, but he can't snip anybody out. Now he's shot by Ruler, and it's a double kill for the man with the double guns. Faker with a beautiful shockwave to turn the fight at the end, but it's still a 2-for-1 favoring Gen.G. T1 want a little more. Ruler and Duro trying to escape as Carrier and Gumayushi are in hot pursuit. Ruler trying to vamp off the minions. Carrier wants to catch him. Gumayushi's low. Ruler looking to turn around, but he doesn't have the health. Gumayushi lives. Double kill.
Fight. The decision-making from Gen.G was fantastic. They knew that so many summoner spells were used in the... Doran doing a good job of pushing out that bottom wave as well. And the tower will fall. A bit of extra gold secured.
They used too many resources. Canyon got chunked, but they still might think about it. Doran's gonna run interference. The Dragon is already claimed. Keen wants to go in, and Chovy's firing off the Weaver's Wall, but Keen's already all alone, exhausted in the middle of 5. Keen just dies. Gen.G are completely confuddled, and T1 are happy to teach him a lesson. Gumayushi with another kill.
Secure a Baron.
It's Keen getting a little bit nervous there, a little bit antsy, forcing the play early. Did not seem synced up with his team. Chovy was on a solo mission on the side. Keen went in to defend. Faker pushes out mid, and now he's going to go top to try to answer. Keen should be able to knock down this tower, and that is a lot of gold in his pockets here, but T1 going to answer with one of their own.
Yeah, Keen doing a good job making sure that he can at least get something back in.
3 very powerful ones. Has the Infinity Edge finished. So pressure on Ruler to get the damage done here. Chovy now just finished his rally, so he's on 3 items. Gen.G not out of this just yet, but it will have to be a great fight.
Beautiful seismic shot from Chovy. Faker buys a little bit of time here with the stasis, and he ain't dead yet. Gen.G looking for a little more as the Glacial Prison doesn't get a lot of value. Over the wall, Doran has to jump back away as Keen wants another stun, this time on the Gumayushi. Owner re-entering back into the fight as Chovy is trying trapped inside the Cataclysm. Owner goes back over the wall with an nice EQ combo. Faker down very low. Canyon needs a little bit more damage as Ruler takes out Carrier. T1 on the run. Gen.G. Doran is coming around on the flank. Keen might just see him here, depending on if Doran gets the skip and slash over the wall. In time, Doran's going to be caught out. Keen immediately sees him, but Doran only loses about 1/3 HP. The Drake has been aggroed, pulled, but it's too far down. The patience will be lost, and it resets back towards its home before it can be taken low enough for a smite fight.
Doran's going to TP back. He just went back to base here. He already had the Seekers. He's ready to go pick up some wards.
Okay, Dragon at half HP. Gen.G still looking to burn this one down. Weaver's wall's already been fired. It's slated, secured by Gen.G. Canyon here in the front line, but he's not dead yet. Finally going to be cut to pieces. Gumayushi grab the killing spree. Gen.G defensive positioning as finally the Jax makes his way in. Owner trying to escape back out as Ruler is under pressure off to the right. Keen in the middle of everybody trying to do the damage, but it does not work. T1 have already won the fight and they want even more. Gen.G running into the wrong side of the jungle, and T1 hunt them down. Chovy sidesteps a deadly flourish as Ruler and Duro try to fight back, but Carrier runs them over. Gumayushi's on a rampage. Gen.G.
But you just know they're on the wrong side of the map in T1. Back to live. We got to go because they're on Baron.
The Baron is claimed by T1. T1 not slowing down, ready for the next minion wave to crash, while Doran enchants the wave over in mid at the same time. Canyon throws out a Glacial Prison, but there's no follow-up. Immediately, T1 fires back, and Gen.G have lost their main engage. Owner puts Chovy in the Cataclysm, but he has to get back away. Canyon's about to die. Faker needs a little bit more damage that he will not find, but it just makes space. T1 now firing onto 2 inhibitors at the same time, and bottom and mid lanes will now surge with super minions as the Nexus turrets are under fire. Ruler's calling, very little efficacy as that first Nexus turret is about to drop to the enchanted cannon minions. Gen.G scrambling for the defense as T1 continue the push. A ton of damage onto Duro, and Gen.G are not holding. The Nexus is open. Canyon's in the middle of everybody, but he's already down. Gen.G are no match for the T1 team fighting. Keen goes golden, but it's all too late. Another double for Guma. Faker is godlike, and T1 take game 1.
What an impressive performance in game 1 from T1. They navigate the fights beautifully. Their target selection is exceptional, and they take the game. And they take the advantage in this series.
Absolute signature performance from the Faker Orianna. Putting into question who is the best player today. It might just be Faker. What do you think, Jess?
I think it might come up Faker once again, but we're not going to call the series before it's over. That would be disrespectful to a Gen.G that has been so strong. But we do have to talk about how good T1 was in this first game, in not necessarily an easy game to navigate in terms of drafts, and not necessarily an easy execution in team fights around those objectives, as Kobe is holding up a sign, but we can't see him yet.
He's holding up his prediction.
He is.
Well, I'm holding up the Faker quote. Faker from the intro quote.
Yeah.
Always goes hard, but he said, "We are back." And that moment by the Otacon fight, Shocks, where they had just lost it and it looked like T1 were going to get run out of Summoner's Rift, he finds a shot.
The back does help, with the dive. You're sending in that buy, the Scion, the Nautilus into the back line here, and it's going to be Camille in the top lane. Doran had a spectacular performance, I remember, from playoffs here, in the MSI qualifier, stole an Otacon away. Duro TP'd down, Carrier did as well, so both those supports getting down there. Duro just trying to cover, make sure the Canyon cannot be secured.
20 seconds until the grubs spawn. You have to imagine that Gen.G will look for it.
Immediately, though, engage coming out from Keen down here on the bottom side. Remember that Gumayushi has no flash. Keen just going in, beats him over the head with that.
Get a plate or two, at least one plate has already fallen. Owner, though, trying to answer on that top side. Carrier's behind them.
Yeah, Carrier wants to make his angle into the fight, and there's the heroic entrance. The Wukong Galio combo deletes Ruler immediately, and the second cast of the Cyclone mows Duro down. T1.
See Keen solo kill on the bot side, not to be outdone. Guma could be in trouble.
Yeah, a lot of danger there. The Dawning Shadow doesn't hit him, so critically not low enough towards that 0 HP mark as Canyon forces Owner back out of the grub pit. It's still 2 grubs over the side of T1, though. Doran ready to go in, wants to chase after Canyon. Faker and Owner dealing with Duro off to the side as another Nimbus strikes, ready to set it up with a Justice Punch, knocking him up into the air, and Owner ready to knock him right back down. Feet of Warfare, 3 kills. T1.
to get out to those side lanes now. Of course, working in towards the Roa and the Archangels.
This could be a play for Gen.G though. Keen gonna start it off here after Doran interrupts the hook shot, and Canyon's ready to show up to seal Gen.G.
T1 on the cross map though. They will equalize the Dragons. Chovy wisely tries to push out that bot wave before Faker can respond, so he's going to be
about to spawn in the top river. This is very important to try to control if you know that Herald fight is upcoming. Faker now trying to deal with Keen's Scion that has stacked mostly armor as Keria and Gumayusi are going in. Ruler under a little bit of pressure, but he roots up Guma. Fires back with a little bit of damage as Gumayusi continues trying to escape. Has to flash. Doran's made his way into the back line. He wants to go after Canyon. Owner engages here with the Cyclone. Followed up with a Hextech ultimatum with the Dawning Shadows ready to back him up. Canyon staying alive, but T1 gets the kill and Gumayusi gets paid.
A close exchange, but it's T1 that get themselves the kill onto Canyon. Guma was forced to flash very early because of his positioning. Oh, a bit of danger for Doran.
Doran, rune prisoned up immediately. Flash over the wall from Duro for the dredge line. Doran down means
the bot lane one. Keen has had the push non-stop. And as a result, this could mean
and the objective will go to Gen.G.
T1 win a fight in mid lane, but Gen.G find a pick onto Doran. Bot side of the map, T1 have priority over the Dragon, but Gen.G find a pick onto Doran. Their game plan is very much to punish this Camille at every...
No problem. They don't even have to use the Herald to do it. And that is fantastic. That is going to be the feats of strength there for Gen.G, so they get the upgraded boots.
As Keen will face check into a brush, I don't think he's ever really worried about doing that. We'll see, though, if T1 can punish. They try to unload onto the tank. Keen ready to flash away as Ruler's trying to back him up here with the Dawning Shadow. Tons of damage onto the Scion. Duro makes his entry into the fight. Keen's going to die, but now his dead body's ready to go. T1 try to disengage. Gen.G looking to fire back, but they won't find.
Here comes Duro.
Ruler's got the first kill into Owner as Faker tries to get away, but the Justice Punch will find no escape. A double kill to Chovy's Rise as Doran and Gumayusi.
Otacon, though, we're going to keep going.
We're already back to live, and the Otacon's halfway dead. T1 want to try to contest this as Gen.G have control of the area for now. They full send it. They want to go in after Doran, but they can't find enough damage to kill him here at the very start. T1 with a counter punch, but nothing just yet. Duro the first to die. Owner's got to try to get himself back away, but Faker's already down. Owner will follow. Gen.G 2 for 1, and they don't want to stop just yet. Chovy sends himself to his own death. And Gumayusi into the back, looks for Ruler. He finds him. T1 turning it around. Keen, the last man standing on Gen.G, and he wants even more. The shield ready to proc. Gumayusi ready to...
Unthreatened here from Gen.G. I was thinking this was going to be a slow fight, but it was going to be theirs.
And Keria's Poppy knocking Keen out of the very start. Keen is the raid boss in this game.
Yes.
T1 will need to find a way to get through him, and you can see the Corki damage. I want to guesstimate that about half of that went into Keen.
Yeah, he did about as much damage as the two highest on Gen.G put together. Duro looking to go in here with the dredge line. There's no follow-up damage from Gen.G just yet. Faker's getting juggled around, but he's still got a little bit of HP ready to go, flashing out. Gumayusi in danger. Dawning Shadow! And the sun sets on Gumayusi as Faker is running towards the other side of the map. He's got backup nearby, but Gen.G are on the hunt. Can they find anything else? Will they overextend? No, they're going straight after the Otacon instead. Doran, Owner, and Keria all nearby. Faker still with a grand entrance to try to join up if he wants to, but it's all 5 from Gen.G here with the objective.
They don't have Gumayusi here. Oh, that...
Keria, he wanted to find the Keeper's verdict to try to make it a fair fight, to try to give T1 a chance, but they won't get it. A nice flash to dodge that potential ulti as now Doran gets found out. Keen doesn't hit him with an decimating smash. Duro still walking over here with the Nautilus. The ulti's not available, but Vise is immediately into the dredge line to follow. Doran's gonna Hex Tech ultimatum, fully stacked.
And Ruler 80+ stacks, and they have the sustain here, so they're feeling confident to start this Baron.
And Owner is exactly the target they want. The T1 jungler dead before he can blink his eyes, and Gen.G make their way to Baron.
Keen just choo-chooed straight into Owner. There was no way for him to escape. And with the jungler gone, this becomes a very challenging steal.
Okay, Keria doesn't have Smite right now. I'm looking at the scoreboard. The Baron's down to 2,000.
Yeah,
Gen.G backing away from it. Keria with the Smite ready to go.
Yes,
Smite going over the wall, but it's still going to be claimed by Canyon. T1 will lose their support. We'll lose the Baron. We'll lose Gumayushi. We'll lose control in game 2. 6,000 gold lead, Gen.G.
Keria tried to go for the steal for the Heroics. T1 know this game is quickly slipping away from them, but Canyon outsmites him, is able to grab it and secure that.
And again, another kill on Doran after the fact. This Camille picked late in the draft. This Camille, so important for the comp. 2 and 6. There's not a single man on Gen.G who's not ahead of his counterpart. Game number 2, they're in total control.
I mean, Ruler's closing in at 100 and everything. Owner's finally going to be spotted now, and they could just look to try to pincer him. Chovy's not afraid at all.
Yeah, Owner did a great job playing around the fog there for a little bit, but once Spy targets you with the ulti, the clone can't save you. Chovy on a rampage. T1 jungler dead for 45, and the Dragon's alive. Ocean Soul for Gen.G.
An easy pick for Gen.G. A slippery play from Owner. But it's the MasterCard price this moment. Dragon Soul secured. Keen with the dive.
Immediately engages on Doran, and Chovy's ready to follow. Doran is sent to Rune Prison, and Chovy is the warden. Gen.G keeping the push going. Owner still dead for another 15. Doran dead for more than 30 seconds. A Baroned up Gen.G making their way into the T1 base with a 10,000 gold lead. With a Dragon Soul, they've got their sights set on the Nexus itself. Gen.G continue pushing forward as Keria tries to dive after Chovy. Keeper's Verdict ejects the rise, but the Dawning Shadow reinforces Gen.G health bars. The first Nexus turret still stands as Guma tries to get some damage back, but Keen is simply too tanky. T1 finally have their jungler back alive, and with Doran about to respawn, they're thinking about trying to find something here on Gen.G, but they're so strong, they're so tanky, they've got so much regen, but T1 still thinks they've got to try something here. Doran goes in. He wants to go over the wall and find Chovy. He does, but Keen prevents any backup from arriving. Faker with a grand entrance, but it's only from his own exit. Doran is already down. Faker's about to follow as Keen is not even dented. Still damage from Owner, but nothing worth mentioning. A double for Gen.G. It's only Keria left, and he won't last long. One last shot from Ruler rules out any chance of a T1 stall, and Gen.G march it into the base.
Exceptional protection as T1 desperately tried to find something back, but it was not enough.
Nexus turrets are just a formality at this point. Gen.G with the tanky comp strikes back in game 2.
It was absolute comfort there for Gen.G in game 2, and they showed why some of these champions are undefeated. It was perfection from Ruler here on the Senna, stacking it up. Keen, a massive difference maker. He just took over early. It's over to the desk to find out what they think.
Well, Chovy couldn't let that happen 2 games in a row. Gen.G fights back, and we have a special guest on the desk to talk about this game. Welcome, Meteos.
Hey, it's good to be here.
Hello. So, yeah, first thoughts. What do you think about that game?
Well, I'm a little bit surprised that Gen.G won this one because, especially with T1's insane plot armor and getting momentum in game 1, I thought it was looking good for them. I really like their heavy dive comp. You know, Camille, Galio, Wukong seemed really strong, but I guess it just didn't work out for them.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, good observations, and it is so, Emily, that when you look at that comp and then you see what T1 is able to do early, you think, uh-oh, is this gonna...
However, Renata is still dumpster royalty right there with TF. Both of them 0 and 8 at this event. We'll see if T1 can break that curse here, as the AD carry for Gen.G will be Sivir.
So Sivir, I feel like the big point of contention is going to be this bot lane 2 versus 2.
All right. 300 HP on both of our AD carries as the auto attacks keep flying back and forth. The junglers both collecting their second buffs, but it is Gumayushi and Keria getting a better trade. Flash from Duro, but he's still caught. First blood, 2v2.
The game We will see Canyon in a position... No, he's just going to drop a ward and realizes that there is no fight here. Chovy has to go back to base. Duro's got to be careful.
Yeah, Duro caught with a handshake there, but a nice shattering strike ready to respond. Canyon joining up.
The T1, which means that T1 will have better positioning, but Duro and Chovy cutting off the route for Carry, who just ticked over to level 6. That could very well be the level difference.
Okay, keep your eyes on the engage going in immediately. Doran trying to use the Ornhorn, but it only finds its way on a Canyon. Now they got to try to continue to look for a little bit more engage. The lights go out, but enough. Ready for Gen.G as they tried to fight back. Canyon with the flashback over the wall as Ruler fires out with a ricochet. Doran trying to get his way out as the Shurima shuffle defends T1. Gen.G take control of the topside river. There's no kills, there's no bodies, but Gen.G no longer deal with resistance. T1 forced all the way out as Gumayushi lets the feathers fly, but nobody on Gen.G is under threat. Critically, T1 and Owner secured the first grub. It won't be all three for Gen.G, but they control the top side of the pit.
Yeah, Gen.G gonna be able to walk away with 2.
But he's also already here. T1 are starting up the objective. Gen.G are coming down to try to do something about it. Equalizer drop, but it only finds Owner. Magnet Storm, again, only on Owner. Here comes the Ornhorn as T1 are firing back. 1 for 1 here at the very start as Doran and Gumayushi have to fall back. Tibbers the front line for Gen.G. Faker goes in, but he doesn't have the range for the shuffle. Now Tibbers still tanking it up. Beautiful blade caller. Gen.G trying to get away now as Ruler's down to 200. Guma down to 200. Chovy nearly kills him, but it's still...
Vedi, you said how it is, you know, a very kind of close game right now, but I think that favors T1 because it's going very slowly.
Okay, Gen.G have control over the topside river. Rift Herald, the target. Teleport coming in from T1.
Here we go.
Herald's already down to about 4,000. T1 got to be ready to turn out the lights here. Soon over the back and Storm already crashes down from Duro. Equalizer over the top and a ton of damage back to the Gen.G support. Backline of Gen.G under a little bit of pressure as Ruler's first to die. Owner going in looking for Chovy here too. Canyon shoveled away as Chovy has to run. T1 domination. Another kill about to come through as Doran follows Keen and not a single man on T1 has fallen. The recall from Chovy trying to get away. The handshake denies it. Chovy on the run with the blast cone, but he's not going far. Owner ready here with a spell shield. Needs a little bit more. A double kill to carry a 7-1 game for T1.
It is a great engage from Duro, but it is a better answer from Carrier.
So the fact that he flashed forward then meant the response from Doran, he could CC Chovy, knock him into the air, and he's removed from the fight.
T1 is looking good in game 3, a 3,000 gold lead. The additional reward after the fight. They claim soul point as well. We are only 17.5 minutes into the game, and Gen.G now have the T1 control over this bot side river.
Annie did use her ult in the top lane onto Faker, so the burst that she has available from it is not going to be up for the fight. T1 is trying to put pressure onto Gen.G knowing this.
And the Tibbers is not even alive anymore. It can't even just do the random AoE damage from the burn. So now Gen.G, they're starting up the Otacon, but no Chovy ulti. It could be very risky. T1, they don't have Faker here. He doesn't have a teleport. Gen.G are trying to force the issue before the T1 mid laner arrives. They've got the Otacon down to 3,000. Canyon's about to die. He stays alive with a nice crescent guard as it's stolen away by Owner. T1 find exactly what they need. And Owner with the clutch steal tops it off with a double kill. Gen.G just completely lost everything.
This could be an over 5,000 gold lead now. So I want to see that replay one more time because to me,
Gen.G is feeling the pressure across the map. Duro desperately trying to find a flank.
Duro wants the flank, but Carry has marked him. Look at Canyon, he's over the wall here. He has the flash on the Xinjiao. Equalizer already used. Magnet Storm over the top, and it doesn't find a lot. Hostile takeover, roaring through the river. Gumayushi's already killed Duro. 3 dead on Gen.G. T1.
The fight easily, claim the soul, extend the gold lead even further, and it feels like T1 are about to send us to match point.
The team fighting in this series has been nothing short of incredible. Ruler looking to get a bit of revenge.
Yeah, flashing after Keria to get this kill. One more auto attack is what he needs. Shut down on the enemy support. Keria 2-0-10 before that, but the cost is still the Gen.G. They gotta make something crazy happen. Chovy looking for an opportunity as T1 try to back away. Owner's gonna turn out the lights. Chovy's been found waiting in the brushes as the hostile takeover with the Doran ulti combine to instantly execute Gen.G. T1 with a quadra kill for Gumayusi.
He wants the bench.
Will be secured, and T1 is dominating in game 3.
This game is mandatory VOD review for every other Renata Glask at the tournament.
Keria. That is why this guy has won as much as he has. Faker now in trouble.
Yeah, Faker's been caught out, tries to use Emperor's Divide to make himself enough space for his team to show up, and yes, he does. Now Owner enters into the paranoia. His target is Keen. Keria ready to follow up here, goes for the handshake, finds the enemy top laner. Faker's on a killing spree, and Ruler tries to run. Owner's in hot pursuit, and the Fear Tether doesn't have the range to proc just yet. Ruler's the target, Gumayusi's the killer, and Faker cashes in. A double kill for the Azir as T1 break into the base.
There is a cost for attacking the Emperor himself, and Gen.G have been forced to pay it. The Nexus is in their eyes.
T1 with a 5v3. First Nexus turret the target. Hostile takeover zones Gen.G away. T1 19-2. 13,000 gold ahead. All they need is a minion wave. They've got it here at the Nexus. Duro's next to die, and Chovy's Annie is about to follow. T1 in the strongest performance thus far are at match point.
Incredible performance here from T1. The Nocturne combo with Renata did go crazy. I talked about the execution. I didn't see that angle, but they made it look incredible.
The only execution that game was the execution of Gen.G at the hands of T1. 20-2 in kills. Let's head over to the analyst desk to break it down.
To break it down and to emphasize just how incredibly impressive it is that T1 plays their most convincing and their best game of the tournament when they're about to go on match point versus Gen.G of all people, Colby. It is insane.
Jocks, they are so confident. They are styling out there from the very beginning. Guma flashing forward, getting the kill, flashing the T1 emote.
Yeah, I was so glad that the observers kept it on that bot lane 2v2 as both bot lanes were like, you know, using all of their summoner spells, trying to blow stuff just to get to level 2. And then Keria's Renata, they talked about it in draft where Azael was like, you know what, don't play.
This does go to Silver Scrapes, like the last time these two teams went head-to-head did. This also removes the Cassante possibility for Keen in a Game 5. As Faker's Game 4 pick, it is Control Mage and a Control Mage with the Hui.
This is what I was expecting. We saw it yesterday, you know, in a good spot.
The bot lane scrappy here early on, not as much as we saw in the previous game, but Canyon thinking about getting involved here in the mid lane. Two immobile control mages. Faker's got to try to run. The flash chomp from Canyon. Power Siphon sets it up. Canyon knocks it down. Remember also with King's Tribute, you get a nice surge of healing after you take down one of these large targets. Back in mid lane, the trades back and forth. And with Chovy using the Void Storm, the Arcane Storm, to just get a little bit of extra tempo over Faker here.
Make sure up on that top side. Worried about a potential look for grubs, but Dorian gonna get the bad news. Canyon's here.
Yeah, Canyon's ready to chase after the Cassante. They don't want to allow him to get good all-out value, but Doran does it anyway. Canyon, he's caught out of position. The Impale has him stuck, but he stays alive with a little bit of extra healing. Canyon getting away for now. Super Mega Death Rocket can't finish the job as Doran stays alive. Canyon's the one closest to death. Owner still chasing, throws another rock, but it won't matter.
Maybe Keen feels confident. No, he's going to back away. These grubs will be conceded as T1 secures their first objective of the game.
Nicely done there for T1. Getting the near kill on the jungler feels bad in the moment, but it feels good enough to get the objective as Owner's making his way into the top side. Ishtal's impact slams Keen into the wall, and Doran with
You have to imagine that both teams will set their sights on it. Canyon hovering around top once more. It does make sense to try and funnel some resources into Keen. Can they really pull this off?
The all-out is ready to go again. Doran outplaying it last time around, and he's ready to go again. All out. Keenan in a little bit of danger, but Canyon looking to burst him down in time. Doran drops, and Keen stays alive. Owner and Faker wanted to show.
Gumayushi, though, going to be securing all these plates in the bottom lane. He gets 2 for himself. That's going to be 3 shared alongside Carrier. They realize that Ruler is alone in bot lane because of that TP you were talking about, Azael, and so immediately they look to put the pressure on. Topside, Gen.G trying to cross map, Keen trying to hold this wave.
Yeah, Keen really doesn't want to give away the first turret this early, especially when his team's looking to put the damage into the top side. Tier 1, Keen holding on, but the final rocket finds the target. T1 now trying to get a kill onto Keen. Carrier gobbles him up. Gumayushi shoots him down. T1 tie up the kills.
Your meal is served, Carrier and Owner. Serving up Keen on a silver platter to the Jinx, getting him the first kill of the game. He got paid with the plates, he got paid from the tower kill, and now gets a kill on the top laner to boot, opening up an 800 gold lead here for the Jinx to equal that of Chovy's in the mid lane.
That's the biggest thing. Gumayushi is being accelerated. The feats of warfare.
For the side of Gen.G, 1 Drake to 1. For both sides here, as Canyon's going to start up the Herald on his own. T1 still looking for control over the mid wave. They'll push it up slightly faster, but Ruler can easily clear the minion right after. Carrier jumps in on an abyssal dive, and Gen.G's ready to fire back. Carrier in danger, trying to pop the thick skin. Stays alive for now, but Ruler jumps in. Feat of Warfare going to be claimed by Gen.G, and T1 picked the wrong moment. Gen.G were ready to absorb the engage. They'll take the kill, they'll take the feat, and they'll take themselves the Herald.
Duro so quick to re-engage off of Carrier trying to make a play on the map. Duro takes a chunk of damage. T1 trying to contest his tower.
Spiraling despair on Ruler. He's got to flash away to stay alive. Keen putting a little bit of pressure onto Doran now as Chovy makes his way back into the fight here too. Gumayushi low on health, low on mana. Doran, footwork over the wall, barely stays alive. Gen.G will not allow T1 anything more.
The feats are going to be decided by the next objective here. This game's so tense right now. Herald summoned up here. Gen.G going to be able to likely knock this tower down, but T1 still staying around, seeing if there's any possibility to at least stop the Herald from charging again, and they should be able to accomplish that.
Looks like Gen.G might just give it away. They're going to focus on the tier 2 in the top lane instead. They want to build the gold lead that will now 2,500. It will be the feats claimed by the side of T1. The Infernal Drake is theirs. Just being weak early as it stacks has kind of passed. The item will still have plenty of value once he gets all of those, and especially considering the last game, the 0 kills, 0 assists. Chovy's having a great time here now. A little more damage is all they need on Doran, but Carrier gets him out alive. You can't say the same thing for the turret as Gen.G take another objective. It's 4 turrets to 1. T1 seeing if there's anything they can find after, but for Duro, it's an easy grand entrance back of the wall. Ruler slammed in. Owner goes for the impale, but there's no backup. T1
They really are an Owner there. Kind of uncharacteristic mistake. He has been so steady, so stalwart. T1 should be able to grab this tower in the mid lane, but you know, even if they try to move in and contest vision, if they want to do it.
T1 still playing cautiously here as their mid laner is over in the mid lane. Duro looking to make a move onto Faker. He finds the grand entrance with a quickness, and Ruler puts bullets through Faker's heart. Gen.G with a kill on the enemy mid laner now has control.
Duro has been fishing for so many picks, and he finally finds one onto the mid laner of T1. Faker is caught. Gen.G have the numbers advantage, and they're looking to take everything from T1's jungle.
They're going to start by stealing away the red buff. They're going to continue by putting down vision control. They are going to pressure in a 5v4 situation. A TP about to show up as the gravity well welcomes Doran to the battlefield. Duro stunned up into the wall. Grand exit right back over. Doran goes all out. Ton of damage on the Keen. He's going to get killed. Ruler ready to get excited. Ton of damage on the T1, and they're all getting evaporated. T1 are washed from the rift, and Gen.G.
Again, Owner spent the ult on only Duro. They can't even kill him during it. As soon as those tools are down.
Something on the other side of the map. Claim the tier 1 turret, but they won't get a chance. Chovy's already there. Canyon will take the Drake. Super Mega autos. Keen, the only man that's died on Gen.G, is still ahead. Nearly 2,000 gold over his counterpart. Gen.G will start the objective. T1 are going to see it there with the severing bolt over the wall. They're going to scramble to try to get into range, but immediately Faker is already targeted. Duro with a beautiful start to the fight. Nobody on T1 dead yet. As Owner over the wall looking to try to engage. Super Mega Death Rocket finds a target. Ruler's still alive, but Doran's going after him. The Baron down to 2,000. Jovi's already on a rampage. Guma dies. T1 die. Gen.G hold the smoking gun, and they're marching down mid lane with Baron.
A phenomenal team fight for Gen.G as they weather the pressure of T1. They set their sights on the Nexus, and they're looking to bring us to Game 5.
Faker is alive, but he stands alone. Gen.G with a 5-man push. They dive Faker, they ace T1, and they guarantee us one final game. Gen.G tie up the series. We're going to Game 5.
How else could this series end but in a 5th game? The last time they met, it was 5. The lower bracket finals was 5. This is going to be the 9th series at MSI that goes the full 5 here. It has been an incredible tournament, and it just keeps getting better.
One last game to decide everything from the last 3 weeks. Analyst desk, what do you think?
I think I am so incredibly happy that we get to see Silver Scrapes. Gen.G held up their side of the bargain. They grabbed the blue side for themselves, and they ran it home.
We're getting one last game to rule them all, and how fitting with this tournament that has set the record for the most 5-game series ever of any internet.
Risky.
Thinking about Gragas as an option as well, the hover.
Gragas support, I think, could be smart.
Oh, they're going full. Ooh.
Nope.
Oh.
We're going Pike.
My goodness, Duro. Carrier was one of his idols while he was attempting to make his way through the challenges scene.
Trying to be farming this plate. They almost have knocked down their first plate already, and Owner's showing up on top side.
Owner wants Keen. Doran's ready for the flash follow. Ruthless Predator, Spectral Maw, T1. First blood.
And it goes.
Carrier there with pressure from Duro and Canyon. This is the time here in the match. If there's ever a time to stand up, that's the time to do it. T1, though, might just get dove. Make it rain, putting the pressure on. Gumayushi with a flash away. Between worlds goes Chovy, and Carrier goes down. Guma goes with them. A double kill for Ruler.
Gen.G pull off the perfect dive there, juggling the aggro flawlessly. Carrier and Guma get nothing back here. They do get a dragon on the bot side, thanks to...
Run out of control in this early game if she's just allowed to free farm. Nice interrupt there from Faker onto Keen.
And I think Owner really was hoping that they were going to get more than just the defense, that they were going to get a fight, be able to actually collapse and force and maybe get a kill. Because that was a lot of time spent just to get that red. They're looking for Canyon.
Beautiful engage from Owner. Spectrum on Canyon. The Nidalee, no way out. A heartbreaker from Owner is a heartbreaker for Gen.G fans.
Did a really good job of threatening Canyon, who was trying to clear out a ward. That meant that he pushed Canyon more to the left of the river, allowing for Owner to set up for that pick. Flash commits the stun, sets up for the kill, and as you rightly said, it's Owner that gets 2.
Duro, he wanted to try, I respect.
Does earn them this dragon here. Gen.G don't get a kill, but do grab their first objective.
Baker pushing the tier 1 turret in the bottom lane the entire time. The skill shots fly back and forth in mid. Keen and Chovy will start up the Herald, but T1 can sense something is going wrong here. Owner jumps in for the Spectral Maw on Duro, but he misses. Doran looking off to the side, but he's already been chunked. T1 bringing in the TP as Gen.G go after the Herald. It is claimed and secured by Canyon. Keen trying to get away from the Karma Root as Doran goes over the wall. Flash Ruthless Predator. Doran is low. Bullet time gets him. Gumayushi barely staying alive, but it's 2 kills back the other way.
Is finding ulti after ulti as the flash in here from Doran, but Ruler just steps back and finds a massive bullet time channeled across. Some missing on the other side as well, but no flash on Viego. Renekton, Caitlyn. Feels like it would be a very dangerous fight to take.
Duro again going fishing with the bone skewers. Keen lands the Infernal Chains onto Carrier, but the Karma's plenty fast enough to step away. Chovy going between worlds. Carry the target here at the very start, as now Doran's going to be burst down very quickly. Q3 won't kill him, and Gen.G don't get their man just yet. Doran's still getting away as Chovy gets enough damage, and Keen gets the kill. Gen.G
quickly taking control of this game.
And T1 just really weren't in position to take that fight. Owner was looking for a potential flank there, but everyone from Gen.G showed up. Faker's in bot lane, doesn't have his teleport, so it's then
Drake shouldn't be truly contested here. Doran's hanging around. But Renekton can't do anything over the wall, and
Chovy has no TP. It's not up yet.
Are going after the Otacon. It's already down to half HP. Duro and Ruler stepping up. Doran taking a little bit of damage as the bullet time flies out. Doran, 1/3 HP. It buys enough time for Gen.G to try to revive. Kanan has made his way into the objective. Looking to smite it down. Canyon's Nidalee gets the Otacon. Gumayushi caught between worlds, and Gen.G take him straight to hell. Keen, wings spread wide. Looks for more. Canyon misses the spear. Keen hits the Q2. Needs a little bit more damage. Trying to find it. Chovy forces his Infinity Edge on the Caitlyn. Gen.G already with the objective. Down to 5,000. Faker and Doran over the backside of the pit looking for their entry here into the fight. The Drake down to 3K. Chovy going between worlds. T1 forced away. Drake claimed by Ruler. Now Owner and Faker here at the very start. Reset for Owner. He's low, but he ain't dead yet. Keen goes in for the killing spree. Stunned up by Doran, but Ruler is still ready to fire. Doran wants to slice and dice, but it's a double kill to Keen. Chovy still chasing.
That does get targeted. Faker finds an incredible angle, but the response from Gen.G,
from being all these levels higher, he's going to be so tough to deal with.
Big chunk there onto Carrier with the spear. Now Gen.G's got to be a little bit careful. Owner goes in for the Spectral Maul, but Duro dashing back away. TP coming in as Gen.G immediately trying to go after Doran. A lot of damage back onto him with the bullet time over the top, but they ain't going to find a kill here just yet. Chovy looking to get away. Keen unstoppable. Nobody on Gen.G is down. Keen with a double kill. And Gen.G are so much better in the team fights.
Their efforts are not enough. T1 cannot find a single member, and with the Baron available, Gen.G will secure it. Now T1 being shepherded by Duro. They look to secure a tower. They're trying their best to escape. Duro will let them free.
Matchups, and here in this game, 6-2-1. He's feeling great on the Aatrox. Turret destroyed, down there in the bottom.
And no one is going to be able to answer the top lane. Doran was trying to push out that bot lane wave to be able to answer there, but you can see Keen was pushing in the top side.
Spot. They needed to chase after Keen because they've got to find any opportunity they can, but the cost is the inability to fight for the Dragon.
For T1 is you try to buy time until an Elder spawn, and you pray that you can somehow get over there and steal it, but that's why Gen.G is Gen.G. You can see these luxury items starting to come through as well. The Zhonya's is done for Canyon. A QSS T1's hand.
Gen.G daring T1 to answer them at the Baron. Chovy and Duro are the ones in position to try to interrupt. Faker goes in for the flash charm, but he won't find it. Owner looking for a chance to steal with the bullet time, immediately forcing him all the way away. He tries to survive, but Canyon will bury him in the river. Gen.G, Baron +1.
Faker tries his best to find a play onto Chovy, but he will not allow it. Chovy holds the line, Owner falls, and with the Baron, Gen.G's last push as they set their sights on the title of MSI.
Gen.G with the push in the top and mid lane simultaneously. Doran and the rest of T1 trying to defend. It is still 20 seconds until Owner is back alive. The Baron minions have made their way to the Nexus turrets. The first already half dead as Gen.G changed their attention over to the mid lane tier 3.
The pressure is unrelenting. The wave clear just isn't there for T1. Now 2 inhibitors fall. It's simply a matter of time.
Owner is back alive. The last stand of T1. Doran slices forward, but it won't matter. The first Nexus turret is already about to die. T1 struggling to defend. Duro with a bone skewer. T1 backing away. Gen.G with a massive advantage already in the health bars as Guma's chunked to half. Chovy goes between worlds. Guma goes down. Carrier goes down. Gen.G, they did not falter on the road to MSI. They didn't fail here in Vancouver for 23 series. They have chased perfection, and now they found it.
Gen.G have done the impossible, a perfect split into a perfect international tournament here. This team truly has achieved the closest thing to perfection you can do in League of Legends. Absolutely insane. Many times they were pushed to the brink. Every single time they stood tall. And now finally they can reap their rewards.
They are not just MSI champions. They are back-to-back MSI champions.
Simply an incredible run from Gen.G. They sought perfection and they have found it. T1 pushed them to the very brink, but it simply wasn't enough. The reigning MSI champions will hold on to their title and bask in its glory.
What a series. What a journey for this team. Never falling to the lower bracket. Game 5s, yeah, they were challenged, but every challenge they met with skill. They earned their victory, and now we're handing things down to Lore with our winning team.
Gen.G are your champions, Vancouver. We've got an extra treat for you because Ruler is joining the desk in just a little bit. We've got a lot to ask him, but first, I do need to talk to my analysts about the sovereign Game 5 that Gen.G was able to play, which is not easy when you're up against the T1 specifically in this situation, Maurits.
It's just insane to me that no matter how many times teams try, actually beating Gen.G once happens a lot. Twice, a lot of teams have done it. But the depth and clutch factor of so many members on this team just keeps coming back to save them. Because the fact that Duro gets to pick Pyke in a Game 5
amazing.
And actually makes it work, because I'm telling you, I saw the locked in, I'm like, oh boy.
You did.
This was a composition that took so much skill to execute, and they had extremely good counter engages when T1 reached for that kill to try and make their pick. The ultimate from Ruler coming over, the ultimate from Chovy, the counter was so good.
It was, and you just see it takes a village to perform at this high of a level, to feel comfortable this long time in Vancouver against multiple opponents and throughout 23 series consecutively. Chronicler, this is madness.
It really is, and we keep going back to it because it feels so unrealistic. And the biggest thing to me is this time, this win streak, again, Gen.G is fighting their own win streak of 24 series, but this one spans an international tournament, a grueling one, a double elimination best of 5 bonanza, and they still get it done.
They absolutely did, but of course the counterpoint is always going to be, they also did last year. I think more than anything, this again puts the eyes on Worlds, and we heard it there from Chovy again as well. He wants to repay that trust that everyone has had. I think it's going to be really difficult to not drop a single series until Worlds, but I do feel, Kobe, that this experience here, as Chronicler says, at this very grueling tournament, will shape them going into the second half of this year, into that World Championship that they covet so much.
They continue to build on it and continue to improve series after series after series, gaining more and more power. Look at the smiles on their faces.
Pretty heavy, that thing.
It actually is.
I mean, Canyon, you love him, don't you? And he did his job in Game 5, Kobe.
He's a long time been my jungle goat. A lot of people really look up to him. He can play any sort of style, any sort of champion. He is so versatile and so good.
He can do anything, but he also just slammed it in Italy in Game 5, right? It was great to see. Oh, and Duro, what a situation to be in, Maurits.
There is so much pressure coming in as a support on, obviously, the org that has been insanely successful, most successful domestically in the LCK for years, obviously still an international force to be reckoned with, and then coming in next to Ruler as he returns, having the really filled the shoes of some amazing supports as well. Lance, who was, by the way, last year's MVP, Delight, who is one of the best engaged supports in the world, and Duro, for me, it's about the development. How fast this player has grown from what was just a rather middling support to a support that in a Game 5 of an international Fearless comes through.
So much pressure on him. Actually incredible how he has performed with all eyes looking at him.
That man, if there was an unofficial award for best reactions, for most memeable coach reactions, that man would be at the front runner. Let's be real.
They'd be winning as well.
Best vibes. Still now on stage as well.
Yeah, incredible. Also fantastic just talking to the crowd. I love the way they were playing with the crowd as well. Like, you're going to have to keep cheering for me, Ruler said, for me to give you these performances. I love it. They have unbelievable influence. And just the fact that Chovy is the Oppo Finals MVP. We were talking about it here, but yes, you could make an argument for Ruler very much so, but I just take into context quite literally as well of the pressure on his shoulders and the fact that throughout the 5 games he was one of the very important bricks to build that house towards that victory.
We saw it in the game number 5, obviously the Ana game, a throwaway, but even the Talia game, he tried his best, tried to have impact on sides. Few of the positive plays that came through were on him. But to me, it's the resilience I keep going back to. Keen had a really rough start to the series, but he bounced back. The Sion performance was amazing. His Aatrox in the final game ended up coming up huge. Even Duro, right? We saw him get, I think, one of the biggest support gaps of the tournament with that Renata versus Rel. To still have the confidence really speaks to the coaching staff and the camaraderie in this Gen.G team.
And the endurance of this team. So many full-length 5-game series they have played up there and still staying sharp until the end.
It's fantastic to see, I think, across sports and across esports when you see such a long winning streak, you know. Why is it so difficult? Well, 1, you have to win them. 2, everyone else wants to take you down at every turn more than they want to take down other opponents, as we see some final snaps of the whole gang.
And when you are at the top, everyone is looking at you and trying to learn from you, but you have to hone yourself to continue to improve. And it becomes so hard to make each further step.
It's true. And I just know that Chovy, as he receives his award and as he looks back on these finals, he's already visualizing Worlds. He's already thinking about that junction, because when you're a competitor, the sky is the limit. You need to get everything. And preferably, I think he'd like to kick T1 out as he's doing it at Worlds. But the thing is, that's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, to me, again, going back as a, one of my favorite anecdotes, by the way. If you
can he bring the trophy?
Yeah, I was going to say, he's going to bring it over here.
He should bring it.
Oh, please, Ruler, bring that trophy.
Ruler, bring the trophy.
Is specifically after they won Road to MSI, which was, again, a reverse sweep against Hanwha Light. Crazy series. You know, normally they're
Dragon at half HP. Gen.G still looking to burn this one down. Weaver's wall's already been fired. It's slated, secured by Gen.G. Kanan here in the front line, but he's not dead yet. Finally going to be cut to pieces. Gumayushi grab the killing spree. Gen.G defensive positioning as finally the Jax makes his way in. Owner trying to escape back out as Ruler is under pressure off to the right. Keen in the middle of everybody, trying to do the damage, but it does not work. T1 have already won the fight, and they want even more. Gen.G running into the wrong side of the jungle, and T1 hunt them down. Chovy sidesteps a deadly flourish as Ruler and Duro try to fight back, but Keria runs them over. Gumayushi's on a rampage. Gen.G erased. Goes in. He wants to go over the wall and find Chovy. He does, but Keen prevents any backup from arriving. Faker with a grand entrance, but it's only for his own exit. Doran is already down. Faker is about to follow as Keen is not even dented. Still damage from Owner, but nothing worth mentioning. A double for Gen.G. It's only Carrier left, and he won't last long. One last shot from Ruler rules out any chance of a T1 stall, and Gen.G march it into the base. Chow, equalizer already used. Magnet Storm over the top, and it doesn't find a lot. Hostile takeover, roaring through the river. Gumayushi's over to kill Duro. 3 dead on Gen.G. T1 are ruthless. A TP about to show up at the Gravity Well. Welcomes Doran to the battlefield. Duro stunned up into the wall. Grand exit right back over. Doran goes all out. Ton of damage on the Keen. He's going to get killed. Ruler ready to get excited. Ton of damage on the T1, and they're all getting evaporated. T1 are washed from the rift. T1 struggling to defend. Duro with a bone skewer. T1 backing away. Gen.G with a massive advantage already in the health bars as Guma's chunked to half. Chovy goes between worlds. Guma goes down. Carrier goes down. Gen.G, they did not falter on the road to MSI. They didn't fail here in Vancouver for 23 series. They have chased perfection, and now they found it.